pillars and the whole model. So it's more about now getting into depth. Going ahead now, we would expect that you know things. So you start working on things like your presentation, which you have to do at the end of the session. So start preparing, start making notes. What you're looking at is you're doing a small 5 minutes presentation at the same time submitting a small research paper kind of a thing where you can, how have you understood the 7 pillars and how would you implement the 7 pillars, whatever, your business, your work, or something else which you think, in an industry which you think you want to implement. So start preparing that way. You will go into a different mode altogether now. So we plan to start at 6 now, so let's be on time. Let's not call Mumbai traffic the reason. Second thing, few of you attended our 2 days conference. So we had an ICPR, Indian Council of Philosophical Research, which sponsored a 2-day seminar on Kautilya Arthashastra. So there are a lot of scholars who came and spoke about it. So you were there. There were others who had also attended. So we had scholars, there were around 21 people who submitted their papers on their understanding of Kautilya Arthashastra from a particular context. It can be Kautilya Arthashastra has 180 different subjects in it. So taking up their own area of expertise, someone was a wing commander, someone was a colonel in army, someone came from Kathmandu, someone was a teacher, people who were into businesses running their own business. So different kind of people from Indore, there's a school principal who came from Bangalore. So all these people had come and they submitted their papers on Kautilya Arthashastra. So we had this 2-day conference. Videos are available online, you can go and view them if you want to. So if someone is more interested in understanding Chanakya and Kautilya Arthashastra from a different angle as well. Similar manner, we would like you guys to also start preparing, make your project work, or I would say an assignment. We're not talking like college people like me in our MA leadership, prepare our assignments. No,
I think it will be better without them.
Sure.
Good job. Anyways, there are not many videos. So start preparing for that. Go to those videos. There are a lot of other research papers available online. You can search for them. If you want, I can send you those links and send those research papers to you as well. So you can see how people write research papers and their understanding of Kautilya Arthashastra from different point of view. Someone might write it from an army point of view, someone might write it from a business point of view. I wrote a paper which was like Kautilya Arthashastra, an institution of marriage. So just exploring a new dimension to Kautilya Arthashastra. So there are different things you can look for it. Try working on it. We have a month's time now, so that you can prepare. Second thing, we all have this thing, we call it the Chanakya Fellowship Club. Right? So you all being a part of the program, we take it as an understanding that you are a part of our family now. And as a part of that, we look at you guys to team up within yourselves. Right? Look at the way that you work. All of you can come together and support each other in all the activities that you are doing. So something like a trust group. So there might be someone who is a trainer, there is someone who might have a logistics business, someone has a web business. So you all can become support to each other, start interacting within yourself. Let's be a group within, and now that we all have understanding how businesses are run from the Chanakya point of view, right? Let's start supporting each other, helping each other out. I'm not talking something like a BNI for business, but something where you support each other. So that becomes an activity within ourselves. That becomes an activity for yourself. You have someone helps you. The ideas which are generated out. That can be done within the group. Most of you are on WhatsApp, can interact. Who are not, can at least interact offline. So that we can start working on this model further. What will happen is as batches go ahead, more and more people will start joining in. There will be few who will leave, there will be few who will stay. But then we will have this core group which is interested in discussing, taking support of others. And then that group can be developed further. So that's the core idea of having this Now coming to the topic where we are now, fourth pillar. Durg, the infrastructure, the fourth pillar is what we are going to discuss today. And taking the Chanakya point of view, this is where now something in physical starts. So we had Swami as an individual, right? We had Amartya as an individual, right? We have Janavada who is the market, general marketing, sales, not sales, but every marketing kind of thing. Now we get into Durga, which is physical. It's something we can see, we can touch, something which is tangible. So this is where now, as I said, Chanakya goes into more of a materialistic kind of thing. Business as infrastructure. So for a country, when we see what is the infrastructure for, if I have to understand, if we have to say what would be Durga for a country. Government offices,
Railways, transportation network, basically.
Monuments.
hospitals, monuments, what else?
Dams, irrigation. Dams,
Dams, irrigation,
Parks.
I would say rivers,
Parks.
parks,
education department.
education departments, all departments. Then mining, this is mines, mines are set, our mines part of the infrastructure. Our country is on a mode where we are going into this phase where infrastructure is the theme and infrastructure is the call of the day. Right? So roti kapda makan ho gaya. Makan abhi chal raha hai, but to an extent what it was before, now there are people who are more settled than what we were before. Roti kapda we don't worry much about now, we go on to the next thing. So roti kapda makan and mobile phone also had come in. Then we now went into phase where the whole country started talking about something like Bijli, Pani, roads, highways, so infrastructure. So infrastructure is now becoming the theme. So if you see people who are investing and things like that, people who track the stock markets and everything, there's an infrastructure fund which comes out. The power sector fund. Reliance came up with the largest IPO in 2008 known as the Reliance Power IPO. This is a theme which is going on. And this is the reason because we are as a country developing from where we were to where we are. From here we might go ahead. Once we have our roads in place, once we have our housing in place, right, then we will have questions of job. The next question should come is how much jobs are there? Right? Then we will come into things like healthcare. We are already talking healthcare, right? Health insurance kiska hai, nahi hai. So many health insurance companies coming in. So we are getting into that space. Like next will come in is education. We'll start talking of what new courses. We see so many private colleges developing these days. These are one by one from underdeveloped, then to a developing country, then we move to developed phase. Infrastructure becomes the hard thing. That's where the development is. Airports. So, for a business, if I have to look as my business, what is the infrastructure? Look at business. What are things? Offices. Office space, first thing.
Workplace.
Workplace. Yeah, workplace.
Maybe the roads.
The roads.
Which lead to
Road will be. But business ka infrastructure. Logistics. Plants. So manufacturing business will have plants. What your own businesses, your own industry. Think about that.
The raw materials.
As far as our business concerned, there are three-wheelers and tempos,
Deliveries. Yes. So your tempos.
Telephones, because people need to connect.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. So these are the basic infrastructure.
Your computers, your entire
Computers.
Hardware,
software.
diagrams.
Aircrafts. Now, database. Soft infrastructure. Yeah, so we come into the types of infrastructure. We get hard infrastructure, soft infrastructure. But we all have somewhere identified what is infrastructure. Can we now think of what next? For example, Sir just mentioned this business is into delivery, right? So can you think of now having GPS systems on all your trucks, all your tempos? Can we think of someone who is in the logistics You can say, now I need a system where everything is managed on my computer. I need an instrumentation system to come. Yeah. So is there a level next to all the infrastructural development which we can think of? If I'm a trader, am I online? Do I have my online modules? Do I have my website? So then coming to types of infrastructure. Hard and soft. And now we have something as a digital infrastructure. First of all, what is hard infrastructure is all what we have identified. My office, my plant, my manufacturing unit, the aircraft, the tempos, the trucks, the computers. It's all hard infrastructure. What is the soft infrastructure? Software is, I mean, I would put it in digital.
Human being, us.
Exactly, human beings. So, as a company, isn't the people working in my organization an infrastructure? So, what is the soft infrastructure I'm providing? What is the environment I'm providing for them? So, people who walk in your place, who come to your place to work, what is the kind of ambience there? What is the kind of culture in your business, in your office? These are the softer part of the infrastructure. The third part is digital, as we all are now know. We all know it. Do all of us still work with Gmail? How many of us have moved out of Gmail and have our own domain registered? Still, I would say 50%. If you are professional, if you are looking at running businesses, if you are looking at making a mark in the market, we should at least first try and get an email ID with our own domains. Digital infrastructure. How many of us have our own websites? Another question. There are a lot of businesses who will say, "मेरे को ज़रूरत नहीं है." What happens is, when a client is looking for you, when a client is going to search about your credibility in the market, the first thing he's going to do is go to Google and put your company's name. Right? And then they're going to see क्या है. Right? And then there are ways and means to find out कितना traffic आता है, how many people visit his website, how many people have a Facebook page. One, two, four. I'm talking of Facebook page. I'm not talking of Facebook profiles. Business page, yeah. Software infrastructure. The world is changing, our presence is different. Right? There's another conception where the hard and the soft infrastructure comes together. There's a concept which is developed these days known as work from home. How many of us work without an office? One, two, three. So the new culture which is coming is work from home. In fact, IT companies, if you see, they allow the people to work from home. And they encourage the people, in fact, outside to work from home. Why? Save space. Investment cost reduces. Right? But there's a drawback to it. If I'm working from home, there's a TV, there's a family, there are kids, there's a neighbor. There are distractions. The number of distractions which go high are higher number of. So what we say is, can I, even if I am on my own, move out of the house at 9 o'clock in the morning and go and sit somewhere? So there came a culture where people started going to Starbucks and coffee day at 9 o'clock in the morning, and they go and sit there and start cooking. Anyone doing that? Yeah. So if you go to Starbucks, if you go to coffee day, Wi-Fi is free. The only condition is you to buy a coffee. People sit there. They come in here. You don't sit at home. Why? I need hard infrastructure. Even if I don't have office. So hard infrastructure, soft infrastructure, and digital infrastructure. Coming on to Dr. Jha, he says something in the first sutra on. So, what is my head office where I'm sitting? What do I do from there? Your control tower. This is from where you the central administrative work, planning and production is done. Everything is done from this place. So we'll talk about different kind of offices people have. The people who don't have one office, they have multiple offices. We also talk about something like the thinking office. We will see how this particular thing, your control tower, people who run multiple businesses have multiple control towers. Right? So we are talking of you not only running a business, we are talking of you now growing, having control of that business and then striking into a different business. These are the ideas, this is the motivation, this is the kind of, I would say, ambition I would like this group to get into when you go into the Chanakya Fellowship Club, start meeting, interacting, encouraging, supporting each other. Can we all see that even if I have 5 crore of turnover today, can I see in 5 years' time to move this 5 crores to 100 crores, maybe 500 crores? Can we support each other in this particular? And this is where it comes. Infrastructure is very important. So we would probably want to design a place where we all can meet and talk and discuss. A WhatsApp group is an infrastructure issue. Right. So now the Sutra says there are a few points. What should be your office like? Charming. Charming, obviously, you need people to be happy. You don't want people to be sad in your office coming every day. Why am I here? So one thing I told my boss when I left HSBC, when my boss was leaving HSBC and there was this farewell, and I said, this is a job in my life where in the morning I felt like coming to office. Otherwise, Monday morning if you ask someone office jana pad raha hai. Right? So the charming thing comes in. Beneficial to people, all employees and staff. Everyone should be benefited from coming to your office. So you should be benefited. Each of your employees should benefit when they come to your office. There should not be anyone who doesn't feel benefited coming to your office. Got staff passionate about work. One important point here, passionate. When we recruit people, well, even the software infrastructure, I am talking about the culture of the office. You want someone who is coming to job because मैं आ रहा हूँ तो पगार मिल रहा है. So he is coming to office because he is passionate about it. So there is a software infrastructure. You select your employees accordingly. You develop that culture within your employees. Men who are loyal and honest. Obviously, everyone wants that. And these are the qualities Chanakya talks about in ideal office. Now coming on to the other part of the thing. When we design our offices, we have something known as ergonomics. How many of you have heard about ergonomics? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 people should know what ergonomics is. Ergonomics is how your office is, right? How physically your office is and how does it support your physical body in terms of the way you work in the office. I have a small video on that, what ergonomics are.
In truth, ergonomics is when people hear ergonomics, they often think of this. But in truth, ergonomics is simply fitting the workplace to the worker, rather than the other way around. And that includes lots of workplaces: construction, manufacturing, transportation, healthcare. You get the idea. So today, we're going to cover some ergonomic basics that apply to virtually any workplace. These include proper posture, managing forces, and excessive repetitive motion. Ready? Let's start with posture. Sitting, standing, walking, it really doesn't matter. Proper bone and joint alignment is key. So straighten up that back, keeping ears, shoulders, and hips in a straight line. Good. Now squat by hinging at the hip. Keep everything aligned. Now sit. Perfect. Maintaining that posture through your day and work, any work, will reduce fatigue, eliminate strains, decrease stress on joints and ligaments, and have you feeling great. If posture is good, forces are evil. Why? Because they assault your posture constantly. There are lift and carry forces, grip forces, push and pull forces, and just plain old gravity. Hey, let's help you out with this. To avoid injury, don't lift, pull, or push too much. Let your posture guide you. And if need be, get help or use a hand truck or other tool. Also, move that body. If you stand up a lot for work, sit. If you've been sitting, stand up. Every change is an opportunity to realign and think about your posture. Our last Ergo 101 topic is repetitive motion. Doing the same task over and over and over and over and over and over. You get the point. Repetitive motions from jobs like these can cause carpal tunnel syndrome, joint problems, poor circulation, and more. Fortunately, these injuries are easy to avoid. First, by arranging your work area to fit you and support good posture. And second, by stretching. Stretches like this, or this, or this, well, maybe not that. Every 30 to 60 minutes can make a world of difference and prevent injury. Show off. Let's recap. Ergonomics is all about fitting your work environment to you. So set up your station to support good posture. Be mindful of posture, reduce forces, and take breaks to stretch and realign yourself. Do all that, and you'll be on your way to being more efficient, more productive, and healthier. For tip sheets on setting up workstations and the ergonomics quiz, click the link on your screen.
So, important point of hard infrastructure we spoke about is ergonomics. बैठा है आदमी, person is tired because the reason why he's sitting, he doesn't have a place to sit. How much do we take care of where the employee is sitting, how the employee is sitting? Let's see the employee, how much care we take, how we are sitting. We're going to call this harder infrastructure. This is where your productivity, this is where your efficiency in the organization is going to happen. So the part of the infrastructure, ergonomics becomes very, 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 especially not from an office point of view, but if you have factory where manufacturing is happening, where there's hard lifting which is happening. You don't want your employees to fall ill or get injured and go on. In India, we don't follow any of this. In fact, I spoke to someone who is head of GMR, who was responsible for developing our own airport, Mumbai airport. And he says, I don't get people certified as engineers. Like, the engineer, what is certified as engineer? There's something certified as engineer, is an engineer who knows how to use safety tools properly. So, should wear the hat, you should wear the gloves. You don't do it. Human value life is very low in India, that's for your reason. But then, ergonomics. How are we taking care of that part of business, which is about the infrastructure? So when we are developing an office, are we taking care of that? Second thing we spoke about is software infrastructure. Now, software infrastructure matters in terms of how your employee feels when they are, right? So there's another thing which I came across and had pointed out towards it. It's something known as great places to work, the best places to work. There's an organization which actually would come and go and assess your organization and say whether this is a good place to work. And then they rank among every country which is the best company to work for. What are the criteria? Let's look at it.
Independent research revealed that certain organizations are more successful financially and outperform standard market indices by up to 4 times. 19 of the 36 organizations identified in another independent research on great organizational performance have something more in common. Research at Cornell University and the University of British Columbia confirmed that these very organizations have higher customer satisfaction scores and have a positive impact on their employees' subjective well-being. It's proven. These organizations perform better and are more sustainable, have happier customers, and create a happier world. The big question: what do these organizations have in common? They all are best workplaces, according to studies done by Great Place to Work Institute. If creating and sustaining a great workplace is one such significant investment an organization can make, what makes an organization a great place to work? For more than 20 years, and now across more than 50 countries, we have been asking millions of employees from different kinds of organizations this very question. We found that at great workplaces, employees trust the people they work for, have pride in the work they do, and enjoy the company of people they work with. We put together a list of 56 variables that come together to make an organization a great place to work in a comprehensive model. It's widely known as Great Place to Work Trust Index Model, the world's most well-researched, accepted, and sustainable definition of a great workplace from an employee's point of view. So, how can any organization create and sustain a great workplace? Every year, we study people practices of over 7,000 organizations. We found that organizations that are successful at creating and sustaining a great workplace culture follow specific practices in 9 key areas. These key areas are outlined in the Great Place to Work People Practice Framework. The next big question: how can your organization get started on its journey to create a great workplace? And how can we help you? To create a great workplace, an organization must find answers and act on 4 key questions. 1. Do our employees think our organization is a great workplace? Begin by finding out what your employees like about working at your organization and what could be better. We help organizations answer this question using the Trust Index Employee Survey. 2. Do our practices help create a great workplace? We help organizations assess and improve their people practices across the 9 practice areas using Great Place to Work Culture Audit Assessment Tool. 3. Do our managers create a great workplace? We help organizations by giving their people managers feedback scorecards, telling them their areas of strength and improvement. We train them to help them become great people managers. 4. And lastly, is our organization recognized as a great workplace? Every year, we publish a list of the country's best companies to work for, which is based on robust research. These lists are recognized as the most credible list of great workplaces. At Great Place to Work Institute, it's our mission to create a better world by helping organizations become great workplaces. Join us to create yours. Apply for a Great Place to Work assessment at your organization today.
Can we all target to take our organization to the level that we can participate in this particular recognition? What are anyone who wrote down the 9 points on which they felt were the ones to look after? Yeah.
Trust.
Human touch.
Enjoying the employee.
Does the employee enjoy working? Okay.
Human touch.
Right. Looking for the same.
There was a 9-pointer thing which they said they would assess a particular organization on. There was a circle which had come. Not like it was.
them are not visible.
Visible because of this.
But can you just read out at least?
So I'll read it out. So the one here is speaking,
Speaking.
listening,
Pardon?
listening,
Listening.
Speaking.
thinking,
Thank you.
thinking,
Thank you.
thank you, developing, caring, celebrating, sharing, hiring, and inspiring. Inspiring.
Inspiring.
Inspiring.
Inspiring.
Inspiring.
Can you repeat that once again?
Yep. Speaking, listening, thanking, developing, caring, celebrating, sharing, hiring, and inspiring. So how does this audit happen? What they do is they go and speak to random employees in the company, and then they ask them, what do you think was your company? And there are different factors on which the words which are being used by the employee, the points are given. So the more these words are used by the employee, I feel happy. The organization shares with me a lot. The organization thanks me that they're listening to me. I get to speak up in the organization. These are the criteria which they use to do an audit of it. But then how? How has that quality developed in this particular organization? Very good. As trainers, I would say these are the points which we need to encourage all our clients to use, or push them to do these activities. And this is an audit where it is the employees are asked, the employers are not asked. I would like to see which are the companies in India which got qualified. What were the things which employees said about them? Let's look at 2017, this year.
It's here.
But these things are often very biased.
Very biased.
Yeah, they are very biased. The employees who are going to be talked to are chosen.
No, it's
And they are
not.
told, this is what you have to say about your company.
So this is
And your feedback is fantastic.
manipulation, I don't know, but as far
Yeah,
as
very much. I think most of the companies do that.
No,
so
in
if I have
fact,
to look
just to
from a
tell you,
cynical point of view,
just to tell you, in fact, the HR head of Great Places to Work in India is a personal friend of mine. Her name is Preeti Agarwal. And she was telling me this, there was this assumption in India, but these are also audited by the international bodies. So yes, it can be there. But as you said, it's random, and this is three-party certification. It's not just Great Place to Work. They have three different rules now.
so Glassdoor is the organization which does the audit. So there are three, as you said, there are three.
There are three parallel. It's like, it's not one certification. Three people.
It's not a, You want to see this? India में कौन है?
Welcome to my next best. My name is Madhuri and today we have a very interesting topic to talk about. I'm sure most of you will easily relate to this one as this is a very interesting discussion on employee satisfaction. More than 600 organizations applied to Great Place to Work Institute to assess and benchmark their workplace culture. The Institute has an objective methodology of assessing workplace culture that has been adopted by thousands of organizations globally. It primarily uses two lenses to evaluate and identify the best cultures. The first lens measures the quality of employee experience through our globally validated survey instrument known as Trust Index. The survey helps in seeking anonymous feedback from employees. The second lens is called the Culture Audit, a proprietary tool of the Institute that evaluates the people practices of an organization, covering the entire employee life cycle. Using these two lenses, Great Place to Work Institute has recognized the 100 best workplaces as India's best companies to work for 2017 from organizations having an employee strength of more than 500 and represent 20 industry sectors. On rank 1, we have Intuit India, which is an information technology company and employs 948 employees. On rank 2, we have American Express India with 11,748 employees. On rank 3, we have Google India Private Limited, which as we all know, is an information technology company and employs 1,863 employees in India. On rank 4, we have Lemon Tree Hotels Limited, which is a hospitality group with a chain of hotels all around the world. It is currently employing 3,492 employees. On rank 5, we have SAP Labs India Private Limited, with a total of 6,489 employees. On rank 6, we have Adobe Systems India Private Limited, with a total of 4,875 employees. On rank 7, we have NetApp India Private Limited with about 1,536 employees. On rank 8, there is Teleperformance India, which is again an IT major and employs 8,302 employees. On rank 9, we have Pitney Bowes Software India Private Limited with 660 employees. On rank 10, we have DHL Express India Private Limited, which we all know is a transportation company and employs a total of 2,402 employees in India. On rank 11, there is SAP India with 1,764 employees. On rank 12, we have Marriott Hotels India Private Limited. On rank 13, we have Ujjivan Small Finance Bank Limited. On rank 14, we have Intercontinental Hotels Group. On rank 15, we have Hyatt Hotels and Resort, which is again a hospitality and employs a total of 8,451 employees. On rank 16, we have Bajaj Finance Limited. On rank 17, we have Cadence Design Systems India. On rank 18, we have Godrej Consumer Products Limited. On rank 19, we have Federal Express Corporation. On rank 20, we have Reliance Capital, Commercial Finance and Home Finance Divisions. On rank 21, we have the Oberoi Group, again a hospitality and employs 4,418 employees. On rank 22, we have PayPal India Private Limited with 1,255 employees. On rank 23, we have Mahindra and Mahindra Automotive and Farm Equipment Sector. BT Global Business Services is at rank number 24, which is another major IT and telecommunications firm and employs a total of 4,388 employees. And finally at rank 25, we have Hilton Worldwide with a total of 2,455 employees. Thank you very much for watching. I am sure you gained something out of this information. If you liked the video, give it a big thumbs up, share this video and do not forget to subscribe to my next best, the best of everything. Take care and have a good one.
This after 25, 26, 27. Indian Oil Corporation in this town is Vice Travel Express Travel. Tata Power. Tata Power Delhi Distribution Limited. Yeah, then NTPC, National Stock Exchange, Mahindra Financial Services, Reliance Retail, Standard Chartered Global Business Services, Tata Communications, Apollo Tyre, Whirlpool India, Dr. Reddy's, Apollo Milling, Lifestyle International, Emerson and So how many of us guessed इसमें से कि ये company होगा? How many companies we knew about? How many companies we heard for the first time?
Very few we know. Very few we know.
Very few we know. Yeah, so very few we know. So and if you see the analysis is not on the company as say Reliance. It's Reliance Commercial Finance Division, right? Or in fact, if someone noted, SAP came twice. So one was SAP Instrumentation and the other one was SAP Analytics. The two sub-arms of it. So it is individual companies which have been identified, and they were Mahindra and Mahindra Automotives was there, and then initially there was Mahindra Finance. So this is the kind of thing which we are talking about when it comes to employees satisfaction as software infrastructure. We'll see going further what kind of software infrastructures are developed in international companies. When we go to world's best companies, so we'll talk about that much more in detail and how we look at from an Indian point of view. How should we put in our Indianness to this? Few of them are hotel. There are IT companies.
IT and hotel. You see, there were about 5 hotels out of 20.
Hospitality in particular
that covers
comes.
everything, speaking, listening, everything.
Yeah. No, in fact,
It's direct.
there's a reason behind it. Hospitality comes in because the inborn nature of the industry is service. Right? And if you see, most of them are service industries. Because the company is already into that mindset and the DNA is all about serving people and making people feel better. Hotels especially, because if I am expecting my employees to make my guest feel like they are royal and they are coming to a palace, right? I'm sure the organization, the hotel is taking care of their employees in a manner that they themselves feel good about. So if there's a disconnect there, then there's a challenge. No, let's not figure out. But in service standards, I don't know, but then there are not many Tata companies in this. I remember it right, Tata rated very high in terms of pride and trust. When we look at the way they were analyzed, and if you go to each of the companies, Tata rated very high in terms of trust. The employees trusted the company a lot. Right? And then they were proud, there's pride figure. I work for the Tatas. I don't know how many people feel happy going home and say, I work for Reliance. Especially with our going. I'm not trying to point out something, but the point is the image of the company reflects on the employee's psychological standing as well. The emotional quotient which comes in there, the employee is going to feel like that as well. If I'm working for a real estate guy who is doing all kinds of dodgy stuff and asking me to do all those dodgy stuff for him, right? I would not feel great, and then that person talks about the things. So the software infrastructure is where the culture comes in. If we come back to Raja Kaisa Hona Chahiye, the way he talks, the way he behaves. But what we are talking about again, how do we develop the software infrastructure? One, other infrastructure we discussed first, software is here. Digital, don't need to talk much in today's time, but what's happening in which I see with a lot of people is everyone is aware there's a digital infrastructure. But how many of us are developing that digital infrastructure? So we all are aware that hey, ये सब कर सकते हैं, है सबका है. How many of us are there? Can we put your company name or your name first on Google and there it reflects first? That's, I would say, yours was not an organic and inorganic way of it happening. But still, I would say you should capitalize on that brand. If people want to find about you, they put your name. If you're reflecting first, that's an achievement. Especially in today's world. And if it's your name which is coming and it's your photograph which comes first, excellent. Can we develop that software infrastructure for ourselves? There is a brand building again. So do we see that my Janapada, which is my marketing, gets affected because of my Durg? Now coming to harder infrastructure. How many of us, I think I asked this question and we saw the video, how many of us moved from no office to an office or an old office to a new office? Someone gave me the feedback that day. Right? Anyone who recently moved to a new office or about a year ago? Right? Someone who moved from no office to an office? Yeah. So what was the difference in the perception your client carries about you now when you move to a new office as compared to what you were before? No, about your office. What perception? Yeah.
Also, employees perceive themselves are much happier.
Employees are happier. I like the word you use. This is like the clothes which I wear. My office is the clothes which my company is wearing. Oh. It's like giving an impression of this is what I am. Every time a new client or a customer walks into your office and kind of feeling that person gets, your half business is done somewhere. The impression creation is already done. Imagine walking into a Diana store and just walking in Life in a mall. You pay that premium for what? DMart still, yeah, DMart, yes, but DMart works on a model where I would rather sell cheaper but make people buy 10 more things than what they're supposed to buy. So the model is different. The options there is the focus then quality. But yes, that also makes sense. The same shirt, if I buy from Crawford Market a shirt piece and go and get it stitched from a tailor, the amount is going to cost me, and I want to buy the same thing from van to sell. Look at the price difference. Why am I paying that? I remember a small thing like a shirt, dress, you can buy from Zara. Especially if you go to Fountain Store. How many of us seen Zara's Fountain Store? If no one has done, please go and see. I would say I have not seen a location that I've been. The way they utilize, I've been seeing that place for since I'm born probably, We've been going to Fountain very regularly, we see PAs and things like that. But when the Zara store came in there, I was like, wow, is there a place like this? The brand from Zara is stuck in my mind. And that's because of what? For the location which is the infrastructure is providing me a location. It's providing me an impression. Someone asked the owner of McDonald's when he had gone to college for a lecture. And after the lecture, they all were having a small get-together, dinner party kind of a thing. And then these guys, do you know what business I am in? They even started laughing. And he asked again, yeah, you know the answer. Yes, so then he started laughing. He said, no, I'm serious, I'm asking you what business I am. So the guy said, the whole world knows you sell burgers. He says, no, my business is not burgers. No. Yeah. So you know why? Why don't you explain? Why he said infrastructure, real estate?
He's not dealing in that selling and all this thing. He just find a good place where he can sell
finds
his
the right
products.
place. Right? Andheri station ke baad both sides McDonald's. I'm serious. There used to be a Irani hotel on the other side, and there used to be a South Indian hotel there. Both of them are gone and both are McDonald's now. look at McDonald's locations, only the location which it sells.
Like Jumbo Vada.
Jumbo Vada Pav is still looking at more of an economic, it's looking at footfalls.
But first they targeted on
Stations, railway stations.
Yes.
they given priority to only station.
Only stations. And infrastructure is making a difference. Is McDonald's still on the railway station? Is McDonald's still providing a good quality washroom? Just walk 100 meters, go to the railway station and see the quality of washroom. You want to go to washroom, you walk into McDonald's, buy a date, so pick up burger and then go to the washroom. So the same thing. Again, infrastructure, position. The harder power, the harder infrastructure. Everything of our business is in that country. People who don't have office, you start thinking of having a place where you can sit and invite people to come and see here I am. There are things like virtual offices are available. How many of us have heard of Regus? Anyone heard of Regus? Regus? Okay. No. So Regus is a worldwide organization. Sorry? This is timeshare offices, yeah. So what happens is if you are a member of Regus, you get a place, so there's something known as a shared office space. And here it's this time-chartered building in KC where they have the Regus Center. There are a lot of airports which have Regus Center. You get an office for yourself without having an office of your own, right? You get an address which you can put it on your card. This is where my office is, this is where my address is. You can only go and go to that office when you want. Someone is sharing that office with you as well. What do you get in that? You get an address, you get a secretary. So what happens is anyone wants to mail you, anyone wants to send you something in physical, it comes to your office address there. The secretary to manage your phone calls. But you still don't have an office of your own, just renting out the previous space.
That's the conference.
The conference, the cafeteria, yes. So you call people, they're like, oh wow, what's this? So most of the startups use this. There's sometimes incubation centers. How many of us have seen an incubation center? Incubation centers are something like shared offices again. What happens is it's like a huge office, like a call center. Everyone is given a desk. And you can come and sit there and operate. What you get is there is a printer there. You have Wi-Fi there. There's electricity, there's light. You have your own desk to work on. You pay a minimal fee to go and sit. So startups basically use this incubation centers. The idea is when you go to an incubation center, you find a lot of people like you who are around. What we spoke about the Chanakya Club is something like an incubation center. Let's make this an incubation center. We all talk to each other about our business and support each other. The incubation center, everyone is starting up. Everyone is about to go. This is the infrastructure which we are talking about. That's why I brought up this topic here. So that's, the IIT Mumbai has a startup incubation center. Startup India, the government project. The government has set up an incubation center inside IIT Mumbai. So all people who want to start a business, pay a nominal fee, apply. In fact, there's an application process about what businesses you're doing, blah, blah, blah. Pay a small fee and you get a seat in that incubation center. These are the kind of infrastructure things which is important. If we have to grow in business, we have to look at the hardware infrastructure, the software infrastructure, and the digital infrastructure. Just give them this thing. Especially in today's world, Shaka time, you don't have to. The other things. Next, coming on to, we'll get into the details of what all activities should happen and how an international trend is towards this hardware and software infrastructure. Should we take a break for our better? Take a small break, 5 minutes, 7:30 we start again.
They will be choosing different locations. At Bombay we gathered. So this year it was in Madurai and I was called as a keynote speaker. So I took this opportunity that why not speak about Chanakya. But interestingly what happened is I'm writing my first book for children. And I have Nitya also part of my team. In fact, we are developing a series of Chanakya books for kids. And we have created a small character called as Chatur Chanakya. And what happened is that this book, of course, the first of the book is written. It's not a comic book. It's I would say, a book that you read. It's got 25,000 words. The age group is 10-year-old kids. So they actually read. And the first series, which is going to get launched in December, it's called Chatur Chanakya and the Himalayan Problem. So actually, it's taken in a school environment. I'll show you a small video of that once Pranav hands over the stage to me. Because I know station is still there. But the whole idea was that this particular character is an imaginary character, but a real child in school, and we're taking a modern day school. Because the name of the school is my own school, and there are a lot of characters, children around it. And Chatur Chanakya is a part of their children, and he will solve their problems. It's always better, like we parents will always have a generation gap. So every book that will come out will have addressing different challenges, like right from bullying, to examination fever, whatever. So that will evolve. So I'm working with a lot of youngsters to find out, children to find out what are their problems and can we get a Chanakya solution to them. And thanks to Pranav and team, they're working on it. And today we'll be creating a brand called Chatur Chanakya, where we have a lot of merchandise. We're also speaking for movies and television rights. So all this will happen over a bit of a time. The whole idea is that what I've given to all of you is actually just a start of it. So Nitya has been working on that along with us, Meena, of course. The whole office is working not only on this book but various books. Just to get to the first attempt. So we have got a small teaser for you which I will start off to show. The whole idea was that it is helping children to use Anvikshiki. We are talking about Anvikshiki, but if you get that, I think the whole generation will get it, right? So before I start.
I don't know if most of you have seen it, but that's the Puffin characters. Publisher, okay, yeah, so Penguin Random House is the largest publishing house in the world. So Penguin was number one, Random was number two. Penguin bought Random, so Penguin Random House became the biggest. Is the number two from there is far away. So the book Anvikshiki, which the last book was published at Penguin, the film is their own children division, which genre of children writing is under Puffin. They are doing this. So it's a big launch, it's a big book. Obviously, so that's the idea that we're trying to work hard and put it into shape. And maybe as Sir said, we want to make it into a brand. बहुत हो गया छोटा भीम और बहुत हो गया बाल गणेशा, so I think next is Chatur Chanakya. That's the target. I know we should just after the break we are on infrastructure, coming back to where we are. Chanakya talks about it a lot. I would also next to take over. Just a few points which I wanted to make in addition to what we discussed. Chanakya talks in Arthashastra, when it comes to infrastructure, from a king's point of view, he talks about from the scratch. So he says, what if I have to set up a village? Right? There's a barren land and I have to set up a village, make that village into a town and into a city. And we see that thing happen, right? When Mumbai chota, then we moved into town. The city was developed, a new place was developed. We moved to Navi Mumbai. Now we are moving to Kalyana, Mumbai. And I think slowly we moved into a direction where Pune, Mumbai might become a tri-city. Because there is pitching shortages again, I think. So that's the kind of thing which Chanakya talks about. But as a business, if I have to look at those inputs, right? Can I start from scratch, start from the smallest thing, where I am the queen and I am the president of the company, where I am the one who is making the business plan, and I am the one who is going and buying things and stationery from the shop myself, right? To a big organization which I have. So that's what from a city, a country we can make it to our business. These are the kind of things that we have to take from Chanakya. One important point Chanakya makes in this whole thing is, it is easier to develop a village which was already settled before. Right? So for example, there was a village. People went away because there was drought, there was fire in the village, or probably there was war and people died, or people went away from there. This is developing a place like that is much easier than developing a completely new place. And why would that be? Because there is some of the other infrastructure already available, right? There would be a bit of town planning in place, there would be some sort of infrastructure already in place, so it's easier to develop that. But if you put it in business context, right, most of us think of business as, मैं कुछ नया करता हूँ, मैं कुछ बनाता हूँ. Can we also think that, can I go and acquire a business? If I'm running a business, can I go and buy out another business and make it? People want to do something startup, just innovative, which is new, and then they're struggling. They're just, kya karo? Why can't we also think that a business by Kabir is already there? A lot of businesses are available. Talk to Chartered Accountants, there will be a list of businesses available. That can be a way of going as well. And Lakshmi Mittal, if you know, RCO, right, did not start. I think they started only the first plan by them. The rest all were acquired. They became the largest steel manufacturing in the world only by acquiring. So from a business point of view, organic growth and inorganic growth is also, let's not talk on that inorganic part as well, because we focus a lot on the organic growth. That's how I see what Chanakya said is organically for that. So why don't you give us from a global perspective on
Thanks, Pranav. So, I will write down name the thing. It's fine. Name the thing. Pranav. That's okay. I will talk about one. Okay, it's fine. Anybody remembers this year?
Globalization.
Before we come to that, was it very important to India? Was it important to the world? Yes. Of course, India has a major thing which will come up. No, but I am talking about it. Did this year have something as an effect globally?
Yes.
In India, no, yeah, in India.
India, of course, we'll talk about that later. But anything else you know about 1991 other than India? What happened?
GATT came into this.
What is that?
GATT, G8 will.
What is that? I'm not aware of this, okay.
Global Agreement.
General Agreement on Trade and Tariff. General Agreement on Trade and Tariff.
Anything else?
GATT.
It's a very important thing, of course, for India, but it was a year which redefined human civilization. How many of you remember the Berlin Wall? You know what is the Berlin Wall? What happened? What is the Berlin Wall?
Berlin Wall, yeah.
It was brought down between East Germany and
Germany World War? They said India, Pakistan, this. First time we had a significant history where two divided countries actually became one. Get addition to that. Very important. What happened in China? यही होता है कि हम लोग इंडिया बात करते हुए फॉरगेट ग्लोबल. My father always tells me, you are very proud to be Indian, you talk about Indianness, but your Indianness will never be complete till you understand what's happening globally. And there's a problem with Americans also. They think America is the world. Yeah? A good American will know America is also a world, but there is a bigger world. Let us not be so much into our own world that India is a great, of course India is a great country. But you do not understand that it's significant to what is happening across the globe. And then only we'll be able to connect with Chanakya better. That's why we're spoken as foreign policy. What happened in China?
Tiananmen Square. Tiananmen Square.
Okay. We talk about what happened in India. But let me tell you what happened in China. The power shift changed. You know, the Mao era actually ended. You know what is the Mao era? The communist rule era where everything was dictatorship. It's not easy to turn over so easily, but there was a policy decision taken by the communist leaders. They sat down and said, okay, now we need to look at our own country in a different way. We want to be global. I was in China and this is where I came to know that, of course, the Tiananmen Square and all those things that. But those people who were in power, they took a decision that we need to be nothing but world-class. Today, if you talk about Chinese products, manufacturing, how many have you been to China, Shanghai? Anybody else? Any other place in China? See, we are not here talking about the problems of China. There are a lot of problems like any other country. But significantly, China became a superpower because something happened in 1991. Do we consider it as superpower? Yeah. Yes. They decided to do one very important thing. Revamp the complete infrastructure. And they did it in 10 years. We go to Shanghai. Which is the capital? Beijing. Beijing. You find world-class infrastructure. The bridge to upper bridge, right? Flyover to flyover. By the way, China has got the world's largest train, the fastest train from Shanghai to Beijing. It was actually supposed to be Beijing. It's like Bombay, Delhi, right? But they tried it. After that, they started winning Olympic gold medals. In China, doesn't they do it big, right? But you know what they did? The policy decision taken in 1991, we will make our infrastructure nothing but world class. Power shifted in 1991. So I am telling you that if you study world events, there are some points in world events also where a lot of changes happen. And we are a part of the generation. Some of us are before 1991 era and some of us are post 1991 era, right? So this year was very significant worldwide because leaders across the globe, not only in India, okay, leaders across the globe took some policy decisions which impacted the future generation, not only their countries but worldwide. Yet, thanks to add on that, in fact I was studying this and every time I study this I get one more input to it. ये भी हुआ, ये भी हुआ, ये भी हुआ. One of my friend who is actually an astrologer, he told me this year, and then he went on the dates, saying that it's going to be very significant. Humanity will become closer. It is not that it's happened in China. It's happening when China became an entry point for India also to go into manufacturing, right? Coming back, Berlin Wall fell. Two countries were divided on China decided to do what probably we are still doing it. 10 years, they revamped everything. They got in a mode of making infrastructure. And they did it. And of course, the whole power of the government is like, no opposition, right? No party. Just go ahead and do it. The only thing they got right in the shortest period of time is infrastructure. They got right is infrastructure. Whether it is politically right, whether all that we can leave. But they got world-class manufacturing systems, world-class equipment. What do we make? So let's come back to our country, which is India. What happened to India in 1991?
There was an assassination.
What happened? What are the policy decisions at the government level? Then we will see the after effects of it.
Liberalization.
Exactly. Economic
Liberalization.
reforms or liberalization, whatever. And did we benefit from it? What does economic liberalization mean for a common man? Common man. We can get foreign fund into the state. Yes. India was looted by the Britishers and the Dutch and the French and the Portuguese, all the story you know. So in 1947 when India got freedom, something happened. We were already shocked because हमारा देश को लूटा गया. We were not very much happy, and the whole Swadeshi movement by Gandhi ji and all those things. So 1947 to 1991, we were a very closed economy. हम हमारे पैसा हमारे लिए करेंगे. But you know what? Trade can never be your own thing. It's always global, right? So आप manufacture करोगे पैसा ही नहीं है. And a lot of governments, a lot of deliberations with Manmohan Singh, of course, was the finance minister, but the leader at that particular point of time was Narasimha Rao. They took a policy decision that we become an open economy. And then we started getting something called
1991. Rajiv Gandhi was there till May.
But this happened to the, I would say Rajiv Gandhi and Narasimha Rao, that era. But of course, the credit goes to Manmohan Singh as the economist and there are a lot of people. What happened in 1991, we became an open economy, which means foreigners, individuals, companies, institutions can invest into India and take a share out of it. Between 1947 and 1991, also there were companies which are investing in India. For example, a lot of companies, like if you look at Johnson & Johnson, it's been there in India for a long time. They're all been there, but what happened? They were all restricted, saying that itna हमको, and these companies are ठीक है, continue करते हैं, जो भी India market छोड़ना है. But they say, okay, every particular sector start opening up. Insurance, of course, FMCG, manufacturing, a lot of things open. And then today, what we see, and especially for the young generation sitting over here, I'll tell you, 1991 के पहले और 1991 के बाद, something magically happened in India. What is that? Because foreign companies start coming into India, employment generation, then
Standard of living,
education,
Digitalization.
digital communication, IT. But again, coming back to Durg, when people go abroad now and come back to India, they say, "ये तो इधर भी है." Have you felt that?
Yeah.
Have you felt that? When you go abroad now and you come back, you say, "What's so great about it?" Right? The same wall हमारे पास भी है, same flyer हमारे पास भी है. You're not 100%, but you don't feel as if something great is happening, right? Exactly. I'll tell you, if you go to maybe New York, the most powerful financial capital of the world, when you come to India, you have the same McDonald's with the same facilities, in the same process, in the same one which is Starbucks there and Starbucks here. Isn't it true? And I remember, since I was young at that time, I was listening to a television interview. There was a lot of opposition, by the way. It was not easy. वापस से अब देश को लूट के जाएंगे. एक बार ब्रिटिशर्स को हमने एंट्री दे दिया, लूट के लेके गए. अभी सेकंड में वापस दे रहे, पागल है. All those things.
East India Company.
East India Company. It was actually Dutch East India Company. Are you aware of this? It is not East India Company. Very interesting. We should study. Maybe we'll come back to finance later on. But it was not East India Company. It was Dutch East India Company. There is a reason for that. It became a British company later on. But Dutch East India Company originated from which country? Holland. That's another one. That's the that is the Dutch West India Company, which started in Holland. But the Dutch East India Company, which again Britishers came to us, was originally started in Spain. Do you know which is the world's largest spoken language? Spanish. How many of you are aware they were world powers? Spain is a छोटा country. Spain was the
That
worst.
is, yeah, that is contestable. Yeah. It is contestable.
Everything is
Some people
contestable.
say, yeah, some people say it's English.
So the world's largest speaking language is Mandarin.
Yeah, yeah. it's
Chinese.
Mandarin.
No, of course.
Chinese
That
Mandarin.
is that. That is
Number of
that.
country-wise Spanish.
What?
Number of countries which speak Spanish.
Speaks.
Yeah, that would be because they have a very small population. I mean, because Europe,
No, no.
they have very small places, So.
Okay, let's come back to the original point of Dutch in East India. So now what happened is that we come back to the point that in 1991, when India started opening up, and now when we look at a generation, when we go abroad and we come back, we don't see much of difference. What is changing? I was coming to the point that in 1991, basically a lot of opposition. And I remember listening to a television interview of Adi Godrej. You know who is Adi Godrej? Yes. Who? Chairman of So this debate, discussions, talk show, done. And somebody asked him a question. What do you think about 1991? He said something very interesting. He said, I'm looking at this whole thing from a very different perspective. We will get the world's best practices and the world's best infrastructure in India at their cost. They don't just get us monies. If a company invests in India, which the employment there, but we will get the world's best practices and infrastructure at their cost. Isn't it true? Today, when we see all these infrastructures, we say, wow, हमारे पास भी है. उसके पहले कैसा था? गरीब देश. ऐसा नहीं कि हमारा देश अमीर हो गया है. But you can see that infrastructure is making a very important difference, and that difference you can see now in every sector. Schools are getting upgraded. People choose the schools not based on the teaching quality, but the infrastructure, right? Isn't it true? Exactly, that's why the government gets smarter, saying that this much are the norms, the policy, that's very strict now. But the thing is that we became an open economy, and it is not just open economy, it became open ideas. Let everybody come to us. And it is affordable to those people who don't have to go abroad to see what is world class. हम लोग फॉरेन जाके आते तो ऐसा है वहाँ पे, for me it's an idea, right? like काम कर चलो मॉल में जाते हैं, he gets the same facilities. What we get over here, the same air conditioning, maybe by the same company, the same brands which you may not buy. You'll be surprised if you ever go to what is that mall in Kurla? Phoenix Market City, right? Been there? Have you ever seen what's around? What's around? Slums. And what is the kind of an economic sector that comes there? Lower to middle. And not necessarily everybody buys, huh? But I say the greatest contribution that has happened to that area is that they can walk into a world class mall. They will not find a difference between the Dubai mall and that mall, the same brand, right? You know, before 1991, if you want to understand what's world class, you have to go out of India. And companies used to train. But जो हमारे यहाँ पे वर्ल्ड क्लास मैन्युफैक्चरिंग सेगमेंट फैक्ट्री लगाना है तो उसके टॉप के 10 लोगों को भेजते थे, isn't it true? But the remaining 900 people in that particular factory never understood. So this top will go, or 1% or 2% will come from there to tell you what is world class. It's still an image. Today 1991 के बाद जो हो रहा है, it's only becoming bigger and bigger. We are getting into metros. All of you will be seeing that. How many of you traveled in a metro here and maybe in London? See any major difference? Actually, we are better. We are better, and by the way, we are cheaper also. Cheaper, yes. If you look at the dollar versus this ratio. And today, look at the cities which have got metro. It is not only Mumbai. Mumbai का तो एक ही phase हुआ है, right? अंधेरी to
Warsaw to Ghatkopar.
But look at the number of lines. They are having like 9 of them, right? That's exactly the network that is there in London Tube. They don't call it metro, they call it tube. So we New York and all these things. So we got a world class infrastructure here. We got in cities like Cochin. We got in cities like Bangalore. Delhi is so completely running on metros. Bangalore is still ready to, not yet caught up. Still a lot of cars. we don't find much of a difference. Only difference is that if you travel by New York, again what they call those
Subway.
Subway and tubes. Only difference is that they got it 150 years ago in their first railway system, underground. 150 years ago, and we got it just 10 years back. We got our first metro in Kolkata almost 25 years back. It's not that the Bombay metro is the first one, air conditioned, but now it's becoming common. So let's come back from a nation. 1991 in companies and businesses. Anybody in the pre-1991 era and post-1991 era in business? In business. I have seen companies getting transformed in their thinking. License Raj khatam ho gaya. I'm going to tell you two stories and I'll come back to Chanakya. Have you heard about a company called Lintas? Lintas? What are they into? Advertising. Basically, advertising, media, big firm. And Lintas had a problem. Every company has a problem. And the problem was that some of the people were leaving the companies. It's called attrition, right? Talent is getting lost. And then Lintas at that particular time, post-19 era, there's this guy called as Alik Padamsi. Heard about him? Yeah. He stays there? Okay. He is also an actor, a dramatist, brilliant guy. One of India's talent itself. You see the movie Gandhi also is there. I think acts as Jinnah. Alik Padamsi, stage actor. And he started observing, so why are people leaving the company? We asked the HR folks. And then something interesting happened. He realized that people were leaving the company for a reason that probably we cannot understand at that particular point of time. Because there were no good toilets. There were no good. Toilets. They conducted a little more detail inquiry. And of course the woman never speak it out, but isn't that important? Is it okay, if toilet is the pain area, I should attack it first. You know what he did? And this other it's not a paper. Immediately he told his people to redo the whole toilet with world class. And can you believe what he did? He had an inauguration of a toilet. Makes sense? Actually, chief guest को बुला के सब employees को रिबन काटा ना बुंदी उठा ड्रामा है ना he's an artist, right? So and advertising also, what a combination, right? And advertising company. But he said at that particular point of time something happened. So the employees felt that the importance of a toilet is understood by the top management. That changed the perspective for what Lintas is all about. Lintas was the advertising wing of, I think, Hindustan Lever at that particular point of time. And then, of course, when it went on all those things. The second story is my story. When I got my office in Durg, and Neera was seen it before, the only focus, the first point of focus was the toilet. Can you believe it? Seema who designed my toilet and the whole office. पहला चीज ये था कि देखो यहाँ पे first things and the most important thing is the toilet. We spent at least 1 week to design the tiles. It's not a great design, but I told her something. The toilet is the only place probably most of us still don't take our mobiles to it. Most of us don't, and better don't. It is that one area that can be your own. And that's actually something called as a thinking space of your own, right? And believe me, the first thing she did was that change the door. Actually, when the builder gave it to us, there was an opening. But यहाँ से opening नहीं होता. And she actually had to take special permission and break the wall and take it from there. It took me 1 month only to rebuild the toilet first, and then the other office will start. Next time when you go abroad, please visit toilets or even houses. Not just malls and offices. You'll be surprised. the way they design the toilet, the curtain that they choose, is not just on the toilet. Have you ever observed this? If you stayed in anybody's house? I was quite surprised. I was in Washington DC. There's a very close friend of mine called Niranjan. Of course, he's migrated, settled over there. And he told me, here is my little girl, and she's my daughter's age. And so if I want to educate my girl, the first thing I do is to make up a toilet. So what? And then there's a small bathtub there, and there's a small curtain. And can you believe what is there in the curtain? The global map. A globe map. You have it on your office table. So when you get into a toilet, you look at a map, and every day they discuss, Acha, this is India, this is America, we have to go to this country, that country. And then there are books also kept there. Have you seen toilets with magazines and books?
Yes.
I have seen urinals with the television small screen also. I have seen that. What is this? And even it's not about toilet. It's about using everything effectively. Toilet is only one part. But he went on to say that, the seating height is also important. The chair is important. The color is important. The lighting is important. The ventilation is important. When you design anything, Nero is an interior designer by the way. From interior designer to the next level now, into the real estate space. What I'm saying is that we have still not understood two things about infrastructure. One is the importance, the second is the aesthetics and the utility value. What do you mean by aesthetics? The beauty of it. It is not being karke chhod diya. It's very important to understand the place that we stay in and the place that we work in. Actually, we spend more time in our office area than our houses now, especially in Mumbai, isn't it true? That's not a place. You live there, you ideate there, you eat there, you discuss there. If you don't have a right infrastructure, I think you will not understand Chanakya. Before I go into this, I want to point out something very interesting. It is not the size of your office, it is not the amount of money that you have put in the office that matters. It is a will of a leader to make it really important for the employees. I've seen offices who spend a lot of money, but it doesn't charm you, isn't it? It is not money, it's not budget, it's not the best architect. It's actually the will to go on to the details. That's an okay, we require it. So if I were to ask you, think about it for 2 minutes. If I were to ask you, what is that one thing that you want in your office? If you have to redo your office completely, or if you go to a completely new office, उसमें ऐसा वो एक चीज क्या रहेगा जो आपके लिए सबसे ज़्यादा important है? I told you for me it was toilet. But what will be that one thing? I'm not telling you about toilet versus chairs. I'm not talking. But आपको अगर अपना ऑफिस वापस करना है, तो redo the whole office and forget the budget, forget everything else. What is that one thing you will give the supreme importance to?
Toilet only.
Pardon?
Besides the toilet, maybe a pantry, where people can come together.
We have a great pantry. That's also important. Digitization, okay. Everybody could have different answers. For you it could be pantry, for you it could be digitization. Everybody else. What's important for you? Among all the three he told, soft, hard and digital. For you it's digital, for you it's a pantry. That's some other's paper.
It should look spacious, not congested.
Not congested. You come from an industry where everything is congested. Think about it, flying how many years now? Everything is small, compact. That largeness to it, right? That's for you. Next. Daylight. Okay. You, आपका लिए क्या चाहिए कैसा होना चाहिए?
Pleasant atmosphere.
Pardon?
Pleasant atmosphere.
Pleasant atmosphere.
Thing when I will go in my office.
Yes. Pleasant atmosphere. Clean. Such a word.
Comfort.
Comfort. Can you define comfort?
Sitting arrangement.
Yes.
Environmental communication.
Yes.
Everything between comfort.
Yes. Pranav told about something that, towards the end of this, we are almost coming to Durg, 50% ho gaya. Last two sessions, your presentation, you remember that?
Yeah.
You're going to start mentally thinking about the office that you will have and what are the elements. So you have to take from everybody else also. You have to think that you have to make sure that one thing is the most important one. Everything else will follow. Okay. I'll tell you something more interesting. When you design your office, don't forget your employees. लीडर का सबसे बड़ा प्रॉब्लम यही होता है कि अपने लिए सोचता है कुछ ये करना है करो but finally who is going to use the office? You'll be surprised as leaders you will not use that office the way your employees will. Isn't it true? The maximum time you will be out of the office. It will be the plant manager who will be running the factory. So office in charge. Never forget with all the things that you have said. Please look into what the employees want, and that will be very stupid. I'm sorry for you. There's a friend of mine called Samir Chheda, and not our Samir, we have another Samir. And he's from the family which has this very famous brand called Prince Plastics. Remember the Prince Plastics and chair, kursi, something. So they have an infrastructure division also, and we were attending a similar program. And I was quite surprised. After around a year or so, he called me and said, "You have to come to my office and all this." And I went to his office. Did I tell you this? I went to his office and I was quite surprised. Chota's office, I mean 10-15 employees. The whole office was designed by what the employees wanted. I'll tell you what. Office is designed by the interior designer and the architect and all those things. There are 15 employees. He asked each of them, please give your personal inspiration quote. Could be anything, right? Somebody would have a Shakespeare, somebody would have something else. You will be surprised. I went into the office, so there's a small table place. For that employee, that thing was painted, designed in a very unique way for him to sit there. When you go into that particular space, my inspiration quote which I have given is sitting over there right in front of me with a lot of architectural design to it. Do you think that person will be able to connect to that place? Mera jagah hai.
I create
perspective to that.
Yeah. I created something like this just last month in office actually.
Okay.
So basically I've collected inspirational quotes from each of my employees and on one particular wall I've stuck all of them.
Exactly. So the people say कि मेरा भी input ये है. So
Actually, I was MD and CEO with QDI Infrastructure. It's a government of India company, and we were doing ask centers. These are Ayakar Seva Kendras for the finance ministry. So here the public interaction was a must. We wanted the public to come in and be there comfortably. So we had interviewed 500 people from the public. And you'll be surprised that their requirement was a nice place to sit, a large reception area, and of course the toilet. So these three things were important. And you see now all over India, these IRIs came to the players and they are centered around that. And exactly opposite, the large taxpayers unit, which is housed in World Trade Center and NBCC Plaza Delhi and Bangalore, of course, which is meant for the large taxpayers. The concept is totally different. They wanted private rooms to interact with the income tax officers. So that's a large difference between what people wanted when they come in for their PAN card or income tax queries, etc., or when the large taxpayers.
for them it's like big numbers, they don't everybody know what. Yes. So you understand this, I think it's a very, very good input. Thank you so much. You cannot standardize infrastructure. It has to be customized to your company, your people. Please take a feedback from me. We'll give another simple example. We have this bank, IDFC. You know about IDFC? And we have a head office in BKC. Once I was called back, and there I went into the room and This lady who is of course more, she's retired now, she's telling me this. Come to our office, we have an HR person who again looks at employee happiness. And she took me to her room and I saw she's part of this art of living group. Sri Sri Ravi Shankar ji is a guru. There's a beautiful quote there about Sri Sri Ravi Shankar, whatever those things. And I went and said, "Arey, आप गुरु जी का यहाँ पे रखा है?" You know what she told? मैंने नहीं रखा, मेरा HR वाले ने रखा. I don't know what. And she okay, look around. So just looking around. किसी का अमिताभ बच्चन है, किसी का कोई मम्मी है. Okay? But he ran a survey just to find out who is your role model. That's it. And when the office was inaugurated, we were told this is your place, and everybody got their role model being actually having a poster over their customers for them. They just took a survey. They did not know what's happening. They were in a different office. They just walked in, and one day, her came and she found this Sri Sri Ravi Shankar poster. Will it connect? And she has to sit there 8 hours a day for maybe till how many number of years, right? Take away, simple sa baat hai. It is not about Sri Sri Ravi Shankar, it's not about traveling. The ability to connect. Which means like softboard laga do and give them the freedom to put whatever they want. Isn't it true? The thing is that infrastructure is for you, for your company, but more important for the people who work there and the people who come there. Please visit offices before you design your own office. As they say, sample survey karna. There are so many variants. See, great places to work, not necessarily all the 25 companies are great. There are greater companies which will never get into the list because they don't want to and they're not interested. But they're happy places to work. Isn't it true? So, आप क्या करो कि when you develop any particular infrastructure, which will go into detail, just have to make sure that it has got your DNA. सबसे लो, लेकिन छाप अपना होना चाहिए. It can be world class. The thing is that it should be your class. ऐसा नहीं होना चाहिए कि वर्ल्ड क्लास करते 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 आप भूल जाए कि हमारा डीएनए भी उसमें होना चाहिए. Good lighting, but वो आने के बाद लगना चाहिए कि yes, it reflects what your philosophy is. You said it very nicely. I think you told about people should come there. What is it? Designing an office is designing your home. And you imagine about this. You have to design your own house. You have the complete freedom. And that will at least have a minimum life of 25 years, right? If not 25, at least 10 years. Make sure that you do it. I want to take this completely off the track. I was attending a seminar and I was speaking on the same subject. Okay? One person came and told me something very interesting. मतलब क्या सर आप ऑफिस की बात कर रहे हो, इसकी बात कर रहे हो? बोलते यार इंडिया में ना एक बहुत फनी चीज मैंने ऑब्जर्व किया है. मतलब क्या चीज है? Let me ask this question to all of you. And including me, we all have a bedroom in our houses, and we have क्या उसको bedding है ना एक कर्लॉन का एक इसका the mattress. How much of us give importance to it? When was the last time we changed it?
But
is it
if it is
important?
cotton not like my mom uses, then every year she gives it up because of bed charge.
Is it important?
Yes.
It's most important. 8 hours, 6 hours, just sleeping on it. If you don't have your right mattress, you can have a back pain.
That effect on our own infrastructure.
I'm not telling you to go and change your mattress. What I'm saying is that just small things, probably we don't give that much importance. And it's not about money again. As she told, mummy वो पुराना cotton का tap करके वापस ले जाती है. But the thing that is also equally important is a part of the thinking. So what I'm saying is that getting the micromanagement as an infrastructure is concerned. This is important. Let's go back to Chanakya. How it should be, the Durg should be charming. When I say charming, it is the beauty, the aesthetic sense. Ate wow. And wow factor is important, right? Look and feel. But then he told about, Pranav told about the next part of it, beneficial to people. Not only मेरा के दिन अच्छा होना चाहिए. I've seen offices where the chairman has got a special toilet और बाकी सब लोग आओ बाहर जाओ. See, the office is not your office, it's our office, right? You all share the same space. Nothing wrong if you have a private toilet, if you are a chairman of a company. That's okay. What I'm saying is that design it in such a way it's beneficial to me and it's beneficial to everyone. Look at the storage space, look at the server space. Everything.
What I want to share.
Yeah.
I recently visited buyer office. Now they have shifted to Hiranandani.
Yeah.
So they do not have the cabins. Everybody has a cubicle, but only the size is different. JM is there, cubicle is slightly bigger. There is no.
Tell me one thing, how many floors is the buyer office have?
I visited on the ground floor, right? I think 6 to 7 floors.
It's 10 floors.
10.
Do you know how fast this was constructed? How much time it took to actually construct the whole building? I mean, yes, 9 months.
Eco-friendly. Yes.
Can you believe it? They were actually Hiranandani. If you see the circle, वहाँ पे बाहर का बहुत बड़ा logo होता था. Because they had been growing and they wanted more space. Can you believe it? They made the whole building in 9 months. How many months? 9 months. I'm not joking, because the whole plant, the AC plant over there was done by one of my friends. He told me it took him only 1 month to set up the whole AC.
This is good experience.
Everything, the whole construction put together. The whole slab work included.
Moving in time.
Less than a year. They inaugurated it. And then we started the government ka rules, so वो सब अपने पहले factor कर लिया. It's saying that your planning is the detail thing. When you hit it, हमारा क्या होता है, हम आता जाते हैं और ये पता नहीं था, फिर अटक जाता है, cost escalates. You are telling me there are so many people employed only for planning the detail. The procurement, getting the raw materials. But once you start, and you are telling me, because this friend has put up the full AC unit inside, the centralized AC. मतलब जब उन्होंने deal finalize करने के बाद 200 मीटिंग किया. There are so many vendors and all those things. And finally you come down to the top 3 and the one I got it. And by the way, that guy is an MBA. Selected who's the guy, what you work for, just hundreds of questions. The day the deal got finalized, he said, ऐसा काम पहला करना होगा, आपको 1 million more. I signed the deal, and before I came home, okay, I got 1 crore into my office account. Does it make sense? Deal sign हो गया ना, मैं agree. I came home office के पहले 1 crore. No excuses कि पैसा नहीं है, वो नहीं है, आपने एडवाइस दिया. You attack, ठाक. No, 24/7. Now what it means is that the seriousness of how it is for us. You pay the vendors, pay everybody, get them into place. That's the importance. And once they move into it, it's a very productive office. By the way, buyer is which company? Which country? We study German infrastructure and processes and systems. We are in Mumbai University always study why we are going behind all this American model, nothing wrong. But the real speed, efficiency is Germany. And by the way, education in Germany is free. Are you aware of this? Germany is free. Even for non-Germans. Only condition is that, you can also, only condition you should know German as a language. Maximum bhavan mein attend kar lo free mein. Germany is a country which believes in infrastructural efficiency, including soft efficiency. I was in Heidelberg, and I always like to quote this again and again. The university town, Heidelberg is known for its university, it's a small place, and we had gone there for an international conference, few professors from the university. Now imagine this in India, and imagine this in Germany. There's a hotel, okay, and there are 60 people who can sit, okay? How many? 60. Sitting capacity is 60. They're supposed to go out for dinner after our conference in the morning. They're all there, professors sitting and all those things. 60 people. And there are waiters, cooks, bill, saaf safai karna, the whole time. To manage 60 people, which includes cleaning the table, making the person sit, taking the order, going, and then there is a person who will cook the food, then serve it, then billing, everything. How many people do you require in that particular hotel? On average in India, 60 people है तो उनको serve करने के लिए from top to end कितने लोग लगेंगे average? 15. Waiter will be separate, the billing counter पे अलग होगा 15. Good number? 10 to 15. You know how many people were handling it? 3. And 3 people handling everything, including cooking, huh? It's not like. So I was just watching the girls, 2 girls, and 1 person cooking it. This girl would come and there's 6 of us sitting, and then say there are 10 tables with 6 seats sitting over it. Why he pick up degi? To be menu card. By the time we discuss, she's already given. She's doing something which will come like yes. So Radha Krishna Patel says lime juice. Nero bolega ye. Ek hi baar order lega. And she'll go, and we are just chatting. Within 5 minutes she'll get it. And Radha Krishna Patel को juice ही मिलेगा. ऐसा नहीं पूछेगा कि आपको कौन सा चाहिए, किसको चाहिए. Sometimes you see the waiters, they place it and then we have to place it. Exactly there. And she goes, and by the way I finished. The next order is served. You go, and they also take a break in between. And they say everything is served, having the food, then girl will go out, maybe smoke or whatever, that boy will go out, smoke a little, come back, tuck, tuck, tuck. But what is very interesting is that the person is only one cook. But he's got all the equipments and tools ready with him, right? So coffee is the coffee vending machine, tuck, tuck, tuck. You see in McDonald's, you just observe the process. आपने वहाँ बिल पे करके गए तो वहाँ पे उसके टूल्स और इक्विपमेंट्स हैं कि नहीं है, उसमें आइसक्रीम खाना आएगा, वो आएगा. By the time you are out, there is no wastage of time. Isn't it true? 1 minute में अगर नहीं मिलता तो मनी बैग का भी था ना बीच में.
During non-peak hours.
I'm not telling you, but I'm saying that there is a world which is more efficient than us because of their perfect infrastructure. Because of their work on that process a lot, and they're still catching up. That's when you build it. Look at what the employee wants. If the employee wants to be productive, he requires a good coffee vending machine, right? So please give him that. In an office, think about it. The employee should not go out for any particular reason. आपको पता है, वो टॉयलेट के लिए अगर बाहर जाएगा ना, 10 मिनट 15 मिनट तो वैसे वेस्ट करके आएगा. कॉफी के अगर बाहर गया तो खत्म है ना. Coffee. So you said pantry. It's so important to not just have a pantry, but an efficiently working pantry, right? Just one maybe a micro oven, a fridge, or whatever. वो जैसे बाहर वाला चाय वाला को बोल दिया खत्म. So please discuss everything with your employees to find out what would make them efficient, and of course train them. Another important thing. If you look at facility management, you know what is facility management? Upkeeping. You said cleanliness. Who said cleanliness is important? There you go. Facility management companies are there. We wear uniforms, they clean it, all those things. That is also becoming world class. There are processes to it, there are systems to it. Please understand, आप कितना भी अच्छा ऑफिस बना लो, if your people are not passionate about the work, if you don't have engaged employees, everything is ऊपर. How do you inculcate passion in work? Is it possible? Is it possible? Is it difficult?
Yes.
Is it possible to inculcate passion in work?
Yes. Yes.
How do you do it?
Don't.
Align to the purpose. How do you, is it possible to align them on
what purpose?
Very important. Motivation.
And tools and tackles.
Tools and tackles. Okay. This is the most difficult. I may build a great infrastructure. I may give a good tool also. अंदर से नहीं आएगा ना. Everything is purpose. There should be something that makes them feel ownership. There's a saying, motivation is because of, and inspiration is in spite of. Motivation कैसे होता है? आप इतना करोगे तो आपको ये benefit मिलेगा, right? But inspiration कुछ भी नहीं है तो भी काम करेगा, right? Then they are self-driven. Is it possible to make your employees self-driven and own the work that they do, become self-responsible, not done anything? Possible?
Possible.
There are 2 ways to it. There are 2 ways to it. Please write it down and take a very serious thought to it. Number 1, find the people who are passionate about the work which you already do. Okay? Find the people who are passionate about the work that you do. Other way is that make them passionate, if not let them go. Don't have people who will stick to you just because they're getting a salary. First minute, find passionate people who are your work, For example, if a company is manufacturing automobiles, cars, try to find a person already inspired for cars, right? So आधा काम तो हो गया ना? By the way, Mahindra and Mahindra does that. We saw this whole thing about great places to work. It is actually a great place to work. We are actually going to the head office. Kabhi 17 तारीख. I work with them a lot. I am telling you, it's a great company because उनका interview process इतना deep होता है. They have some, because I work with the HR group. For example, if you are working in their factory, they'll ask you certain questions indirectly. उनका filtering process अलग होता है. अच्छा, which magazines do you read? So there will be 3 posts and there will be 30 people. And you know, if somebody says, I read auto car, you know what is auto car? It's an industry magazine. There's already information. They go, okay, which is your favorite car? They go, sense karna. I told you about that guy about Marlboro, right? Remember that? Smoke. You have to be passionate about smoke, or I'll make you passionate. So what is going to find that? I don't know what your company is all about. Every company has got a DNA, and there are people in the world, na? वो कहते हैं ना खुदा ने हर बंदे के लिए कोई ना कोई बना के रखा है. So don't think that okay, I won't get the people. बॉम्बे में बहुत महंगा मिलता है, कुछ नहीं मिलता है. Right people for the right job नहीं मिलता है. That is the problem. The other thing is that even if you have money, you can't make passion. So try to find out people who are passionate about your field. How do you do that? Experiment करो. Try to go to the institutions which are training people in your field. Isn't it? So what is Mahindra? Simple. So automobile engineers को hire करना है तो automobile engineering colleges में जाओ. Campus placement. I am very clear. If I'm going to work of writing, look out for people who got a spark of writing. I'm an author community. I keep looking on. I'm looking at different kind of people. So what I'm trying to tell is that you need to understand your business. First of all, you should be passionate. You should be able to hunt talent. So you should be able to see. But if you are not passionate, you can't understand what is the passion on the other side. Next important thing is that first try to get people who are passionate. The second is make them passionate or aligned to your field, right? But there is one important secret I tell you. Please apply this. Unfortunately, what is happening is that we don't give it importance. You may think that person is passionate, but finally you realize he is not. ऐसा भी होता है ना? अरे इस पे मैंने इतना इन्वेस्ट किया, मेरे को लगा कि ये मेरा फ्यूचर रहेगा, but बस. And then you take a person who may not be passionate and you train them up to become passionate. But in between, what has happened? Your 6 months is gone, na? Waste of time. Therefore, Chanakya suggested, and even today many organizations follow, but it is not becoming a norm. It is called as how many of you still follow probation? बाकी लोग हाँ आ जाओ join कर ले. तो probation मतलब क्या? What is probation? What is probation? It's in between. It's an engagement. Marriage हुआ नहीं है. It is better that engagement fails rather than a marriage failing, right? You'll be surprised. The way to understand is sometimes they need to be given training. They may be totally raw. But give them training, but don't make them permanent day one. Try, trust them थोड़ा 6 महीना period होता है. Some people do it for अभी तो कम हो गया 3 महीना हो गया, फिर 1 महीना हो गया, तो यही आज ज्वाइन कर ले. वो कोई नहीं ज्वाइन करता. वो 1 महीना का हो गया, पहला सैलरी ये 12 महीने अपना को नहीं टाटा न्यूज़ निकल गया. This is the key thing, your investment. And by the way, probation में जो थोड़ा बहुत देना पड़ता है, that is called stipend, right? Which is an okay cost. Don't make them permanent. But once you get over here, once you understand they're passionate about it, they will not leave you if you want to kick them out. So employees, engage employees. This is a key investment on time, energy, and efforts with less cost. Zero cost नहीं बोल सकते. But once you get them, okay, they are passionate about it, they are aligned with you, then give them everything. By the time you also tested and tried them, isn't it true? You give them the best infrastructure, give them everything that you talk about Durg. But after that also people leave. Google, you have the video of Google? We'll show that. One of the important things, we Nitya in our office, we did a small exercise about great places to work. But I would also suggest maybe you can share your experiences of what is the study of great places to work was. Now, let me tell you something. Google does so much effort to recruit the right person. They don't recruit anybody else. Sabko Google mein kaam karna hai. But once they take it, the day they welcome the people in the office, the way the person is welcomed is like a king. But they don't believe that now you're just another person, you're part of the Google team. Have you ever heard anybody working for Google? I know a few people work for Google. I work in Google head office in USA. They are not different, they are transformed. उनके साथ सिर्फ बैठ के मैं सुनता हूँ, बोलो भैया, सिर्फ बोलते रहो. Their whole energy levels. Because you know what Google believes? Google believes that they're changing the world. Are you aware of this? Google is not another search engine. Every employee in Google feels I'm changing the world and contributing to it. That's the kind of passion. And even if they leave for whatever reasons, Google will be with them forever. So what I'm going to do, let's show a Google Office video. What makes them the passion and the infrastructure, and maybe one or two inputs that you will take away from that. Okay, Facebook bhi dikha raha hai. So Facebook is another most attractive places to work, at least for the young generation.
Google right now in Mountain View, California. We are with our friend Nathan. Nathan's been working here for over a decade. And we are about to board the conference bicycle. Oh, yeah! If you don't know what a conference bike is, Google it. You're breathing a little heavy. I'm about to give you a burst of power. You ready for it?
Oh my gosh.
Theoretically, people would hop on this and take meetings.
Totally, it's a conference bike. So you get on calendar, you book it, and two coworkers together.
I'm not gonna lie to you, there's a bit of a burn happening right now in my quads.
It's like,
holy smokes.
not even going very fast.
Oh, it just got slower.
That's fine. Yeah. Where's the Google bag?
Google bikes, there's over 1,000 on campus, spread throughout all the different buildings. And employees use them to get from one meeting to the next. Bikes get a lot of use, and so they break from time to time. Protocol you follow is you take the seat off, you unhinge it, and then you put it in the basket, and then you park it off to the side, so that way the team knows, oh, that's broken.
And they come pick it up.
Yeah, I'm on a bicycle. Beep beep.
This campus is big enough that bikes aren't a luxury, they're actually a necessity. You could have a meeting on campus that's actually a mile away.
Nathan, I did not do this on purpose. Look at the handlebars. Oh no. They bent up.
There we go. We are inside the Google Museum. It's open to the public, but it's not really advertised. But here they have the first edition of the Google Glass VR technology, the Google searches. No, the movie, The Internship, was not shot here at Google. But the net pods really do exist. Mel is trying one out.
It's not functioning then. I pushed a lot of buttons.
Google is spread out through many, many buildings that weren't originally Google. So a lot of these buildings that we're in used to belong to other tech companies. Oh. Guys, I got a flat tire. I broke another bike. So. This is the original car that captured Google Street View. So it started with Street View, but now it's self-driving cars.
Two kinds. The one that uses the existing sort of internal combustion we've outfitted with all of the equipment on top of it.
Okay.
So that it can actually be self-driving without it. But then there's the second version, which is the car that Google built from scratch.
There is a lot more happening than you realize. There are more than 30 cafes on campus, which are free to employees and registered visitors. So you've gotten used to this at this point. We can't actually go and shoot inside the buildings because there's secrets. But again, this is really about the culture of Google and how excited Mel is at the food. It's really,
and that's a fair point. Lots of people get excited about the food. The employees are super excited about the food. So yeah, they usually have food trucks pull up to sort of supplement the existing cafes that we have here.
Okay. I'm just shooting how excited you are right now, Mel.
I got this.
Oh yeah.
Is that what you want?
Yeah. This is the Android headquarters as well, and they have all of their Android models, which are, of course, named after desserts. These are the sculptures in the parking lot.
Mel, put these sunglasses on this T-Rex.
It's close enough. It's good enough.
Google, yet another creative and wonderful place in the Silicon Valley to work with a lot of fun stuff and a built-in community.
So yeah, maybe I'm selecting the bikes that are broken. Oh, the bell's broke. I have to alert the people. This is for me the best day ever.
So, one of the important things in Google is that food is completely free, unlimited. Where, let's see the other video, then we'll discuss that, and I'll go to Facebook also. See, now he's going to show, this is just the external part of it. So they have a bike and all those things, but the internal one,
The first time I saw the campus it was incredible. There's volleyball nets, colorful umbrellas. You see people walking their dogs. It feels kind of playground, a big playground.
Yep.
so how they treat the employees the day they come to the office. They do not teach them a bit of calm. Because you're in a totally new world, right? It's like a girl getting married to a home and she doesn't know where she's gotten married to.
Google is definitely very eccentric, but also very academic.
At Google, we actually do have the ability to make more of an impact on people and more of a change in 1 year than many people do in their lifetimes.
It's an environment in which very few limitations are placed on where your mind can be during the day.
You're all starting your teams this week, and some great advice is to not be afraid to fail. But we want to flip that around a little bit and say don't be afraid to succeed. My name is Matthew Malone. I'm a graduate intern here at Google in consumer operations this summer. I have a background as an infantry officer in the Army. I thought leading people directly on the ground as a combat leader would provide the greatest leadership challenge. And then I switched over to working in intelligence. That's where I really started to fall in love with technology.
My name is Paola Correa. I go to the University of Miami and I study advertising and marketing. When I was little, I used to collect ads. I used to get a kick out of going to different places and seeing how the same message would impact differently and would look differently.
My name is Kim Day. I'm from Melbourne, Florida. I'm studying physics and computer science at the Florida Institute of Technology. I grew up on the Space Coast in Florida, and I always grew up watching the shuttles take off from Kennedy Space Center. And I knew that I really wanted to work with technology and be able to be on the cutting edge.
My name is Florian Koenigsberg and I'm from New York City. Google as a company was attractive to me because they are a tech company that spans so much more than that. There isn't a place that Google is not.
I'm Grant Oakley. I'm from Spokane, Washington. Just the process of coding is actually surprisingly fun. You kind of get like this epic win at the end of the day. You got, throw up the arms in celebration. It's exciting to work at Google because unlike a lot of software companies, I use Google products every day. That's pretty exciting.
So we're headed upstairs.
I've always thought of work as work.
This is going to be your desk, right here.
At Google, it's completely different. At Google, I was extremely excited to start at work. Like, I could barely sleep the first night.
Yeah, my inbox has already been exploding.
How many? Yeah, 45. Even 45 being the most very first day is pretty good.
I'm working in the online help center, and my project is part of an effort that will completely change the way Google is reaching out to consumers and helping them with Google products.
Our help centers are not just the US, but we have 40 plus languages. So we have to think about how we're going to manage that complexity.
From your first day as a Googler intern, you're treated as a regular employee.
Don't presume that just because you're an intern you suck since you're not a member of the team.
one usually expects as a new person to be at the bottom of the knowledge totem pole. The fact that I'm not is an illustration of how much responsibility is given to us as interns across the board.
Paula? Doing good, I'm Chris. I worked with a couple interns last year, and every intern that I've seen come on has just exuded googliness.
I'll get the hang of it
You'll get the hang of
Okay.
it. Don't be afraid to ask. It's definitely everything. Is her work going to be challenging? Yeah, because the most important work is challenging.
This summer, I'm working on an email notification for Google accounts, and it's going to be sent out to thousands of users, and it's going to make their accounts more secure.
My code helps developers test their code very efficiently, and that way they can write good, stable code for the product.
You will be working on something that not only your team, the entire Google will see.
Basically, internship is like a good experience towards becoming a full-time hire, right?
The one thing that all the interns definitely have in common is passion and motivation to get these things done. Because you don't necessarily have to know everything, but you have to be willing to learn.
Is this your first time at Google?
The week has been unstoppable, restless, a bunch of activities. There's always something new. And the next activity or the next person that we meet is more exciting than the last.
They do a really, really good job of making you understand the way this place thinks. I think specifically of an exercise we did that gave a completely new perspective on how to brainstorm.
What is brainstorming to you? Tell me what you guys said.
It's focused on learning to put aside your judgments right away and avoid criticizing new ideas that may seem strange to you.
Impossible is not a word that's thrown around very often. I think it helps you imagine. I certainly did not associate imagination with productivity before coming here, but I think this place makes that real.
For the rest of it, I know that there will be a lot of work involved. Maybe some work that I don't know how to do, but a little bit of fear is good.
I do feel a little different after being here for my first week. I guess I've always identified myself very much with the military. I was in the military for 5 years. But I'm starting to see myself as a Googler. I see myself as someone who fits in here. I don't feel like an outsider. I feel googly.
I would say meeting Sergey was definitely one of the highlights of my week, month, maybe year. You know, he's fine, just like stop and shake my hand, and then he rode off on his elliptical bike. It's pretty great.
Maybe it is a little early to say that after I've only been here a week or so, but I just feel like there's always going to be something new you're going to learn every day, and that's really the best part about being an engineer.
If this is what being an intern feels like, I'd love to be an intern for the rest of my life.
So you see how you make your employees feel the first week, the first day, and the passion stays for years. So see, you don't have to be exactly like them, but you can study what other people do and bring into your DNA and your culture. Okay, I think the Facebook one, right? There are Indian ones also. In fact, Tata is also a great employer. We'll stick to these two for today at least.
I'm standing here at one hacker way outside of Facebook headquarters. I'm about to go inside the building and give you access to things you've never seen before. I like it.
Matt is my buddy from Apple. His wife, Sarah, works at NASA. We're gonna meet up with Greg.
You're walking into Facebook, and apparently when you check in, you have to like everything. If you don't like something, you can't proceed. These like free likes?
You have to like everywhere.
I think I do. We just walked in, and like they already offered us free stuff.
Right now, we're in one of the many eateries on Facebook, one of the free places here on the campus.
I almost went back for seconds, but they said save room for dessert. This is Main Street, which was fashioned after Main Street Disneyland.
They also have a Mexican restaurant and a rib joint and a barbecue place. There's a woodworking shop, a bike shop. Instagram is here.
This sweet shop, let's do it. Hi, can I have all of it? I want everything put in several boxes. We're talking about how cool it is to eat ice cream with a big mustache like this. See? That's disgusting. Greg, we should probably go in the bar. Temple Bar?
You want to go in?
Do they have drinks?
They don't have drinks.
What is it?
Like the Applebee's bar or your hardware?
Hard Hard alcohol?
We're now walking from one campus to the next. This building we're walking into is where Mark's office is. You know where Mark is.
Oh, that's the wall.
This is a replica of the building that we're in. It's one giant enclosed open space. On the roof, there is a 9-acre garden. To put that in perspective, a football field is 1.3 acres.
There is the other campus where we just came from.
We met up with Tom, who works here, and he is a unicycle master. He's going to let me try to ride his yike. I don't think that's a real word. I just made that up.
You okay?
I'm fine, you alright?
Okay.
I thought you were going to stop.
And it's a very freeing, creative existence, and it sort of makes people want to stay at work longer, and it makes people want to take chances and be creative. And I don't think a lot of companies embrace that, but here they do. I like it.
Facebook is an amazing environment to work in.
This is the one place on campus where you can't really work. Oh, that's true. Man, you know what? You have a future here.
Here is Tom's drone shot from his unicycle in a park, which is on a roof in Silicon Valley.
This squirrel we're trying to catch, he got his eye cut a few weeks ago. I called the vet. They said that they'll take care of him if I can catch it.
Okay, so these are some examples. I'm not telling that these are the only best place to work, but the thing is that look at the employees, connect to the company, and that's more important. Because see, at the end of it, companies don't grow only because of leaders. It grows because of the employees, the way you treat them, the way they perceive your company. I know also there are a lot of companies which have a world-class infrastructure, all these provisions, yet there is high level of attrition. People have great things, बहुत ज़्यादा campus बनाते हैं, लेकिन काम नहीं करते because somewhere there's a connect which is missing. Okay, Nitya, let me share. Because we did a little bit of a study.
I don't have it right now.
Okay, she's got notes, but anything off the mind you want to share? Because she did a complete study of what makes not only great places to work, but in India and abroad, but what are the key elements because the people actually love their offices and companies. Any few insights, you don't have to be exactly depending on those points.
Our company, what I remember from our company. So one of the things that was missing in great places to work, that was there in our company, was that Radha Uncle insists that everyone who works in the company is a leader themselves, which is not so everywhere else. So even Nikhil Bhai, who is the office boy, he also takes responsibility for the office. It's not like he's working under someone. So there's a difference in mentality. So that is one of the things that's there. Then secondly, free food was like number one. Then the third thing that I remember you were very interested was the high salary. Some places pay 10 times of what their competitors do. So that's an impetus for the employees themselves. Oh yeah. So everyone in the office is encouraged to continue studying. So as Chanakya says that one should never stop learning. So to us every day, not only a student who's supposed to study all day, but dad, you, everyone else in the office, also from the peon to the leader themselves. So Radha Uncle himself is pursuing his D.Litt after his PhD. So he's also studying. So that atmosphere of continuously learning is there. Those are a few things.
And flexible working hours. You're not a factory, so that also makes work. And of course, free food. But the thing is that we are a small office, of course, welcome to our office. But the whole idea was that when we studied it, it was like great places to work, all this. But it's like, हमारे लिए कैसे customize कर सकते हैं? Thank you. Thank you.
And also a good rapport between the employees. That was another thing.
So we very clear that no jealousy, no competition, only collaboration. Because you know, it happens naturally that when the human beings, the atmosphere that you create, it has to be part of your DNA.
And everyone's equal, so there's like a
flat organization. So everybody has got a responsibility. But the thing is that we believe that everybody can openly communicate. It's a flat organization. Thank you for being part of the team. And you got different age groups also.
I didn't understand what she said about salary.
Yeah.
So some places that we analyzed as great places to work, we did the case study and we realized that they pay a lot of times more than their competitors in the market do.
So is that good or is
That's very good.
That's one of the reasons why they stay back also.
you pay 10 times?
No, I don't. That's my benchmark. Currently, we are not bad paymasters, so that's important. It will be at least in line with your competitors. We are not bad, but we are not 10 times, which we definitely want to aim somewhere. But salary becomes a very important part of keeping employees happy, right? Paying salaries on time, paying at least a decent amount. You can't underpay them, if possible overpay them, of course. But the thing is that one of the studies is that the best places to work, they pay much more than the competition. That's where they really stick to it. Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Ramya.
Can I say something? When you say that there are companies who are paying 10 times more. I come from an organization where, specifically the member HR saying, that I can be the best paymaster in their industry.
Yeah.
But we have purposely ensured that we have not done that.
Very
because
beautiful.
I want to be sure that people don't stay over here or come in just for the sake of
Sure.
so that.
In fact, she works for HDFC Bank. And there are companies like Tata's, which were designed and said you don't want to be the best paymaster. By the way, Tata's are not necessarily the best paymasters. They still have the lowest rate of attrition.
Yes.
Now, how do you balance that? So what I'm saying, one of the parameters is paying best, but that doesn't again guarantee that the people are happy, okay? So there are a lot of other factors. So what I'm saying is finally you decide what's the best for us. And let me also tell you there is nothing called a zero attrition. Whenever you are so the whole process that you select a team, it sticks with you forever.
One more question about the learning. You encourage learning.
Yes.
So is that during the working hours or?
We actually don't separate working hours and non-working hours. So today officially office was holiday, but they decide to come and work. So if they want to take a day off during the working, that's also fine. See, the work has to happen, but from where they want to do today with technology, you can do it. Right? Ours is not a manufacturing unit that you have to come to the plant and work. I mean, that's a great advantage that we have this people. But we have a discipline also. So what is important is that when you say learning, they're all, if you come to our office, full of books. Everybody learns, discusses and all this. And let me tell you, because being a knowledge organization, that reading of the book, learning of the book also helps in the office productivity. I'm a knowledge company,
This is knowledge-based work.
It's a knowledge-based work.
Do you all have some sharing or something, or sitting and discussing what you're there?
Pranam, you want to answer that question?
So it's very random. So people, everyone, as Sir mentioned, like me and Meena are MA in English. There's people who are basically English literature. Nikhil is MA, encouraging people to start studying again. So he's also. So everyone who is working is doing a formal course by itself. Sir is doing his DS. So everyone is doing some of the other studies. But what you asked, we have a lot of random discussion about thoughts. And what happens is, suppose, say for example, great places to work with thought which came in. Then we all, in our own domain, started researching about it, studying about it, and started discussing about it. And that's how our talks are. So when we talk, even during office hours, the talks are about some of the other subject. Good part is we have some other interests. Aditya who is doing his law, and Pranam who was doing his economics. So if some points comes up, we go and research out and then discuss about it and things like that. So it's a very random, casual thing, but it is always some of the other knowledge flowing from it. So but ज्ञान हर जगह बढ़ रहा है, खाली यूनिफॉर्म की जरूरत है. That's the same. So हमारे यूनिफॉर्म की भी जरूरत नहीं है. That curiosity is there with everyone.
But I'll just bring another perspective.
Yeah, sure.
Actually, see what happens, what we have seen. Yes, there can be, the attrition can be low and all this, and I come from the government sector.
Yes.
There's hardly any attrition. Hardly any attrition. The government is not known for paying. Right? There are not very good interiors. They have to hoops about your conveniences, your choices, etc. Hardly anything. The thing which I found out when suppose somebody wants to leave, etc. It was stability which that sector gives, which no other sector gives. So according to me, all these ideas are very good. who opt for stability, 10% for progress.
Yes. Very
Something which is post 91 generation.
No, not just that. I think it's a legacy.
He's got a very important point. So you're talking about, all these examples are more about private companies. You're talking about a government which gives you the stability.
So I would say people passing out from MBA college, I would say even the IIT, not even take, let's say, I would say that's as simple as an MET. Okay. Ask the passing out student how many of them want to join a government job.
Let them not join.
No, you're talking about different things. You're saying there is a stability in the government operation. Your question is how many join government?
When we apply, when we ask, we invite applications for 2 posts, we get 10,000. And I have to abandon, sir.
I understand.
I was not able to take. I had to abandon that. This is the condition.
Sir, a lot has to do with legacy.
So,
The idea of probably working, say, at a lower pay, as sir is saying about stability, what comes with Tata, or what comes with an L&T, or what comes with the government job. It is that there is a legacy attached to it.
So what I'm so happy you brought up this particular point because now I'm also part of the government. It also comes with a lot of power. And a very subtle power is there in the government. What I'm saying that we'll discuss this often, but what I'm saying is that you have to design your DNA of your organization. He worked in a government organization, he designed his office, right? That freedom is also there. Whether it's private or government, your place has to be a great place to work. Whatever possible, flexible, you do it. Like in the government, now I'm a deputy director at the Bombay University, my little institution, but I run it my way. I got that freedom within the boundaries. Huh? And believe me, it's so beautiful. There are a lot of strengths in government organizations that people don't understand.
Biggest silent strength.
Pardon?
Biggest silent strength.
Absolutely.
Biggest
Not.
matrimonial office.
You get matrimonial office. And other, let me tell you, if you study the IAS, IPS guys, they are not less educated now. 80% of the people are joining IPS now. Shunandan sir was telling me, are actually IIT IIMs. Can you believe this? This generation of IIT IIMs are joining IPS. But think about the India that is going to get created in the next 10 years. And by the way, are you aware of this? IIS people, irrespective of whatever background they come, they also go to Harvard to study management courses. Sponsored by the government, as much as 10 lakh rupees to 25 to 30 lakh rupees per candidate is what government sponsors.
But it's now or it's been all the time?
It has always been there, the numbers are increasing. So the people at the top of the government are brilliant. I'm sure you are one of them. No, but the idea is that great places to work, let us not limit only to private. But what are the factors? So our government able to attract talent, amazing talent. So it is good. Coming back, we'll stop the discussion over here. We'll go looking a little bit of a Chanakya, which is more important. We spoke about infrastructure, staff, passionate, beneficial to people, and of course honesty. If you get all those things, automatically they will be trustworthy and honest. Work on this. It's very important. All this is there. Let's go into a few more aspects.
This thing that you've written 6.1.
This is the reference in Arthashastra, book number 6, chapter number 1, sutra number 8. So if you go back to Arthashastra, it's all there. Okay? Now, apart from all, there are processes also in office. It's not कि अच्छे लोग हैं करना क्या है? This is the process and system. Every object should go out of or come into the palace after it's examined and its arrival or departure recorded. Gate pass बनता है कि नहीं बनता? Goods का so you need to enter. You know, even हमारे society में होता है कि there is a guard who will write down कब आया कब गया. So your office should not be just good looking. It should have good systems and processes. Everything that's going, coming. Many times it will be very boring and monotonous, but it's important. See, record keeping, Indians are now slowly getting into it. We are getting into becoming the most documented generation in the history of India. Are you aware of this? The day a child is born, वो वीडियो शूट करता है, वो बच्चा पैदा होने से पहले स्कैन कर लेते हैं. हमारे ग्रैंडमदर को तो डेट भी मालूम नहीं था, मैं कहाँ पे पैदा हुई, कब पैदा हुई, right? But in the Western countries, they had a lot of documentation process. Europe specifically, 300-400 years they are documenting. No India is going to document. And we are the IT above the world. Exactly. And then remember that remains for life. There are people who are doing PhD and the source is actually getting into Facebook and finding out facts. Either Facebook is almost 10 years, 17 years old, how many years old now? 2000. Now people don't go into their albums, they go and search their own photographs in Facebook, they post it. Remember? So what I'm saying is that the whole idea is that document it in some way, digital, physical, whatever. Documents are very, very essential. And again, government is also going into the e-way, the electronic way medicine. You don't require space. As Bill Gates put it very nicely, the best thing about technology is that it doesn't get bigger or heavier. It only gets lighter and smaller. Because look at pen drives. जितना छोटा हो उतना TB का आ जाता है मेरे terabytes. नहीं तो पहले कैसा था कि there are more files that you have to expand warehouses, right? It will be smaller and smaller. So make sure that you are having documentation of every transaction that you do. Emails is also transaction, right? I was just in the morning sending to Himali, our head of Random Penguin Book House, the children's section, and I put her in WhatsApp all the photographs in Madurai. I just came from Madurai, and just telling, okay, WhatsApp mein bahut ho gaya, I will answer all the queries on email. And she said it very nicely, saying that WhatsApp में वो पीछे delete हो जाता है, email में permanent रहता है. I can retrieve it after 2 years also. You see this difference? And by the way, are you aware of it that WhatsApp discussion can also be made? Yes. You will do that important discussions. There's an option if you go. It's called email. You email it to yourself. Court of law also uses WhatsApp as an official communication now. Okay? Government organization uses WhatsApp as an official communication. In Bombay University we have WhatsApp group. So if the registrar of the Bombay University, the vice chancellor has to send a message, पहले पत्र आता था, पत्र ये तो था, काय येत नहीं, WhatsApp में the message गला, we are expected to be there.
Mumbai Education Department also have all the schools head of registers WhatsApp group.
Yeah. So all transactions should be documented. That's the simple idea. Please do that. Okay. Very interesting. A calamity of a constituent of a divine or a human origin springs from illat or wrong policy. Suppose there is a fire over here and all of us die. Who is responsible?
You.
Suppose there is a fire and there is death. Who is responsible?
The organization.
See, there has to be a fire exit. There has to be a fire exit. All these processes are set, right? The thing is that challenge is the calamity of a divine or human origin. The fire can be created by somebody, right? Or it would be natural calamity. हो गया कहीं पे. Air springs from ill luck. In spite of the best planning, also you can fail, isn't it? Or wrong policy. But Chanakya says, if you are building an infrastructure, make sure that you have backup plans. आग लग गया तो ये backup, उसके बाद ये backup, ये backup. That's why when you create forts, there is also an exit route, secret exit route. Enemy ने attack किया तो भागने के लिए जगह है. Floods आ गया तो there are modes. Fire, drought. So there are a lot of calamities. Famine. You can't say that भगवान ने दे दिया, भगवान ने दे दो क्या? So create water tanks, dams, rivers. So now think critically, what can go wrong in your office? And make a list what is the back of it. And you can't say हो गया. Today, one of the most important work Bombay Municipal Corporation is doing on war footing is actually getting into good infrastructure. And when I say good infrastructure, I'm not only talking about bridges and roads. I'm actually talking about demolition of the old slums and dilapidated buildings. Are you aware of this? Very, very important task. There are a lot of Bandra wala aag dekha na apne beech mein. And there are a lot of houses falling on this. And they are on firefighting mode. I was just landing from Chennai, to Madurai to Mumbai just now, a couple of hours back. But look at Bombay city looks so beautiful. There are slums, but the number of slums are decreasing. Are you aware of this? Demolition drive is going on like a war footing.
That's what the SRA.
Exactly. Because what they are saying that this city is not equipped for such a large number of people living in such a horrible infrastructure. It's not good. 60% in slums, and look at the density, population density. If one person sneezes, बाकी को तो viral होना ही होना है. It's not that. They are working on infrastructure. They are working. The city was planned for 30 lakh people, and today we have close to 2.5 crore people. As Pranav put it today, Bombay city is not Bombay city. It is Navi Mumbai, it's Thana, and now Kalyan Domboli also. The biggest real estate projects are happening in Kalyan Domboli. Isn't it true? And today, if you look at the roads, so what I'm trying to tell over here is that we are plan out for backups and backups and backups and backups. So it has to be like, oh, Bhagwan ne kar diya. Many of you are aware of the very famous story of Dhirubhai Ambani this Patalganga plant, right? Having an earthquake, the Kutch ka jo earthquake hua tha, that plant did not get affected. Are you aware of that?
Yeah.
You know what had happened, no? You remember this, when the planning was happening, there was no too much of history of earthquakes in that area. The river was asked, we need to spell Jamnagar, not Patalganga, I'm so sorry. Jamnagar. So they said, we have to spend extra crores to, make it. So, till this particular earthquake, we can manage it, but if there is a larger amount of, what is the unit of earthquake? Richter scale. So, if it is 8 hectare scale, then we have to put so much, we just put that. जो पूरा कच्छ खत्म हो गया उधर कुछ नहीं हुआ. Right. So what I'm saying, if you look at a lot of infrastructure, they actually get in such a way which is earthquake proof. You will be surprised. One of the best buildings that we have is Air India, government organization. Remember that in 1993 bomb blast, Plaza, this, that, and all those things. There was an Air India building in Nariman Point which went through a bomb blast. Basement bomb blast. And they call the world exports. और उन्होंने क्या certify किया पता है आपको? ये बिल्डिंग को कुछ नहीं होगा. ये already इतना अच्छा बना है. That was GID Tata's vision. And they created it as world class. Because आपका foundation हिल गया ना, so nothing will happen with this building, and the same buildings will continue. Then GID has to. So what I'm saying, these are visionary leaders. You don't look at it, building 25 साल रुकने वाला है. You see sperm banks, have you heard about it? Then stem cell banks. They're actually made for earthquake proof for generations. You don't just keep it like that. These are the kind of a thinking that you go into your office. I'm not telling everybody should have that much, but what I'm saying that visionary thinkers look at the worst case situation and have a plan for it. You should cause the treasury and the army to be collected in one place in the fortified city in charge of trustworthy money. So maybe कुछ हो गया, decentralized. Right? The key thing among the 7 things, Swami Amartya Jarmada Durga Koshadanda Mitra, is basically the treasury and the army. दोनों अपने control करो. So key people should always be protect them. So finance, वो पहले ज़माने में था ना, गाँव छोड़ के भागना है तो पहले gold लेके भागते, बाकी सब चलेगा. So you have to plan in such a way that if anything happens, you keep it under control. For the king, there is a danger of walls in the interior or in the outer. If you are a leader, there is always a chance that somebody is wanting to attack you, isn't it? Attack your system, get into hacking, into key information. The more you are bigger, the more you are in danger, right? All the systems. A lot of government organizations have huge databases, right? We Aadhaar ke saath, but you can't say no Aadhaar chori ho gayi. And let me tell you, we have some of the world's best software structures created by our own engineers, right? One of the largest, I think second largest if I'm not mistaken, or maybe it is number 1 already, largest running e-portal or for e-business is Indian Railways. The ticket booking jo hota hai na? How many transactions, millions per day? Kabhi aapne wo site down dekha? LIC, I mean, all these are, digital giants, and softly वो बेचारा अपना सॉफ्टवेयर इंजीनियर काम करते रहते हैं. What is important to understand is that we somewhere don't respect the kind of infrastructure we are creating to the world. हाँ, हमारा IT इंजीनियर और कौन सा तो अमेरिकन बैंक के लिए सॉफ्टवेयर बनाता है, लेकिन बनाता है ना, नासा के लिए बनाता है ना, और हमारे लिए भी बना रहा है. If you're going and say Aadhaar is not a small project. Why am I saying that? If you are going to be a leader, there will be people who will be watching you, wanting to destroy you. I have this friend of mine called Aditya Kiran. He's from the armed forces. He works with the headquarters in Indian Air Force. He was telling me the maximum budget of the defense is now going into building digital infrastructure. और weapon तो ठीक है. You know what? Because the cyber wars होता है ना. So much key people working very strategically, silently. Maximum investment. In the last year, you were telling me the kind of a digital infrastructure they're developing. Last year budget was 5,000 crores. Small nahi amount. They're not hiring people, they're putting into more software. And by the way, today everybody is getting technology oriented. Banks are becoming IT companies now. Isn't it true? Bank में आओ ही मत, the transaction करके चले जाओ. So when you're a leader, you have to be careful that somebody will attack you, so clean the back of that. Okay, samadhana dandave. he should win over those of them who are friendly with consolation and give those first to decision and force. See what happens, there are a lot of people who come to your office, who come to your plans, should also know why they are coming. What is the intention? That's why they say, किसी का reference लेके आओ. अच्छे लोग आते हैं तो gift दो, दान. Some people come for business transaction, दान. Then some people come to आपका पूरा planning करके bombing करके गया. That also you have to be careful and pay them. Some people just come as a competitor to get market information. See, the people who come, you should know why they are coming into your office, infrastructure. Without it tightly, you should not behave because वो रावण भी आता है ना साधु के बेस में. The more you grow, the more you are vulnerable to the world, isn't it? That doesn't mean everybody is a culprit. That is also wrong. फिर आप trust ही नहीं करोगे. What Janat is trying to tell is that keep your ears and eyes open about yourself. How many people are following you? How many people are wanting to be like you? How many people are benchmarking you? How many people are against you? This is leadership also. So as you create a Durga, it has to be safeguarded from the enemies as well. It's a very strong Durga that you create. There has to be exhaustive also. Okay, so with that, I will like to wind up. But I have to stop with a small story. It's already 9:15. There was an office. I work very closely with a jewelry company, and it so happened that this jewelry company was going through a kind of a revamp. So the managing director called everybody, the head of departments, and he said, "हम लोग अभी पूरा office को you give me your ideas." And I was luckily one of those particular head of department. I came back to my department, there were 9 people. I said, "We are going to revamp this whole office space. Give your inputs." And there's some girl, very interesting girl. She said something very interesting, saying that आप कुछ भी करो ठीक है, लेकिन मैं जिस टेबल पे बैठूंगी वहाँ पे मेरे को छोटा सा जगह चाहिए, साईं बाबा का फोटो लगा देगी. साईं बाबा का फोटो है लगाना. No, I wanted in such a way. She gave some description. I took that input, and then I said, if she's sitting in front of her and her Ishta Devata, her God is Sai Baba, there's a place for it. And I said, let everybody have something to put on. It may not be Sai Baba only. Anything that you role model over. You'd be surprised. I just went back to my MD and gave him that thing. If you would like to, and he took it. And after maybe a year or so, when the whole office was done, the managing director once called me and he told me, "Dada, I want to tell you something very interesting. I had given this option to everybody in all my office, all the head of departments. But when the office got changed, I can feel it that yours is the most vibrant department." I never knew that. Why is it? So that I could feel that when a person sits in front of the office and he or she has put up their role model photograph, maybe Sai Baba or whatever, maybe a saying over there, they connect to that particular place. Isn't it true? It's a very small thing 20 years ago. Okay, now it is very simple. But then I went out and said, the only thing probably I done well is to take the input of the people where I constructed an office. Durga can have a lot of dimensions, security dimensions, competitive dimensions, and finally the people who work for it should be also there. Thank you so much. And we look out for the most important session next time, finance, emotion. In Chanakya, the Arthashastra is about Artham. Don't miss the next session. See, Pranam, we announced it.
Just the same thing, repeat what I started with. Start preparing for your presentation.
What do we have to prepare for?
7 pillars. How would you implement your how do you see your company? Right.
In your format.
Format of that. We have a WhatsApp. I would like, if you want to make it in groups, okay, individually, what happens, everybody is from a different industry. And I would like them to get different perspective of different industries.
Yes.
Training वाला है, logistics वाला है, airline वाले हैं, sales वाले हैं. Sorry?
No, we have time. We have time. Or we even have.
That is I'm saying from now. So because now our the way classes go.
Give us a brief guideline.
I will give you the guidance.
But just start taking your notes so that you know, and think as if this you are going to apply in your company.
So the fellowship club which we discussed. So if someone can take an initiative, let's make an Excel of everyone and what do they do. So then we have idea of who are from which industry, what is everyone doing. So then if we want to interact together in a different forum or together on the business front, right? We want to discuss our own businesses, our own challenges with each other. So then that can be worked upon. So the the fellowship club would work in that direction. So that's there also. So if someone can, or probably we'll only send you an Excel. We'll make an email group of everyone. So what we'll do is make a small Google Doc. Yeah, so we'll send a Google sheet or something to you, and if you just put in your own details, then you have an idea of what industry everyone is from, what background everyone comes from. And then we work on our future planning on that. Yeah, so those are two things, and extend the meeting forward.
The thing is that since all of you are talking about this, we'll invite you for the book launch. And any program that we keep posting, if you want to participate, please feel free, you're a part of the family. As we